News. After 9 straight record-high closes, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fails to make it 10 straight. The number's not finalized yet, but the Dow will close down about 50 points lower today. New worries about North Korea and its nuclear program. An assessment done by the Defense Intelligence Agency says the North has likely successfully miniaturized a nuclear warhead.
It is an alarming report coming from the Washington Post, and at least one of my valued sources on the subject of North Korea thinks that it is true. Washington Post quoting defense intelligence officials saying that North Korea is now capable of producing nuclear weapons for ballistic missile delivery. That is a warhead small enough to put on one of the many missiles that they have been testing.
Fox's Greg Palcott. President Trump reacting angrily to the North Korean reports just moments ago.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is in Southeast Asia, meeting today with the Prime Minister in Malaysia, trying to get that country on board with international sanctions against Pyongyang. There's been potential provocation in another hotspot.
An unarmed Iranian drone nearly collided with a U.S. Navy F-18 Super Hornet while the American jet flew near an aircraft carrier in the Persian Gulf.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson at the Pentagon.
The F-18 maneuvered to avoid collision. It was the first time an Iranian drone has interrupted a flight pattern near an aircraft carrier.
The Defense Department says the drone flight was unprofessional and dangerous. The F-18 did land safely. Another state is suing a drug maker over the opioid epidemic. New Hampshire's Attorney General charging that OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma engaged in deceptive marketing. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Home isn't just a place. It's a feeling that you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, we help keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance. So you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling for less than $1 a day. ADT. Home. Safe home.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, can I still take advantage of today's low rates? Is it still a good time to refinance? The answer is yes. Now's a great time to call Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%, APR 4.19%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Tensions in Brussels Tuesday, which has been on high alert for terror since 2 suicide bomb attacks last year. Police today chased and fired on a car with German license plates in the Molenbeek district of Brussels. The driver of that car telling them there were explosives on board. The bomb squad investigated but found none. 5 tourists have been killed, dozens of other people hurt in an earthquake in southwestern China.
We have a magnitude 6.5 earthquake occurred roughly at 20 miles west-southwest of a town called Yangli in China. That's a relatively low-populated area, but a magnitude 6.5 does have some potential to cause some damage.
John Bellini with the National Earthquake Information Center says the area will likely feel aftershocks for several days. Cable network HBO living through a real-life drama from cyber crooks.
The Hollywood hackers harassing HBO are holding some of the network's biggest shows hostage. Spelling out their demands in a ransom note, the hackers say HBO has to pay them about $6 million in Bitcoin if they want to stop the leaks. If HBO doesn't pay up, Game of Thrones fans are in for a lot of spoilers this season. This time, hackers published a preview of the Game of Thrones episode airing this weekend, and one leaked document reportedly includes a list of phone numbers for the entire Season 7 Game of Thrones cast. In Los Angeles, Hillary Vaughn, Fox News.
The jury's been seated in Denver to hear Taylor Swift's lawsuit against a disc jockey who she claims groped her before a concert. Fans showing up to support her.
For her, this is really important just so she knows that she's doing the right thing, and it's so important for her fans to know that if she can do this, then they can do this too.
The disc jockey is also suing Taylor Swift, claiming the groping report was made up, but she got him fired over it. Recapping the Dow Jones Industrial Average today, failing to make it 10 in a row, the Dow closing down 33 points. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News Radio.
But come October.
Oh, boy.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Surface Experts to keep you cool all summer long. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, clear, low of 57. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 82. Low of 58. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 83, low of 65. We've settled into a period where we're like 70s to 80s and
We've
sunny.
become San Diego.
I'm cool with this. Right now, sunny, clear, 81 degrees in Champaign-Urbana.
And it's the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lonte, Jeremy Warner, back in the seat. Man, these days are getting numbered, aren't they?
Yeah, I was thinking yesterday, 2 weeks from the start of the new era.
That's crap.
You're going to be working an hour less a day here.
Well, no, that is true, and I am fired up about that. It's such a catch-22 as we go along. All right, 359-2255, that's how you get in touch with us. All of a sudden, the St. Louis Cardinals are a MASH unit. They just are starting to, not MASH, BASH unit maybe.
24 runs in 2 games.
Where'd that come from? Where did
how sustainable is this?
Not.
Yes.
Not at all. Not at all.
Here's the big question. Cardinals with a great game yesterday.
Yes.
You wanted Carlos Martinez to look like an ace. And I understand that. I think the world of Carlos Martinez. I think at worst top 15 starting pitcher in this league, in my opinion. If I'm taking a guy for the next 5 years, Carlos Martinez is pretty high on my list. But I do understand that there's an element of when I give this guy the ball, I want to be able to trust him. Now, even Clayton Kershaw or Max Scherzer sometimes get hit and have a bad game.
Yes.
So Carlos Martinez is going to have bad games like he had last month against good teams, like he did last month against the Nationals, Rockies. But there were a couple games where you're like, we needed more from him. Last night you got it. But he also got a lot of help from his offense to take a lot of pressure off.
And doesn't he deserve it? Don't all of those pitchers deserve it? We went through.
The bullpen deserves it,
Oh, my goodness, no doubt. And that bullpen suddenly sneaking up in terms of rankings in the National League. But that ERA of those starters we went through yesterday and how incredible. I mean, all of them are in the threes. And it's crazy. But to your point, yes, Carlos Martinez delivered last night. And it is something, and I prefaced it, and I know you know this, but I prefaced yesterday by saying I love the guy. I'm excited that he's here for 5 years. If there was a big game tomorrow and everybody's rested, he's on the mound, no doubt. There's not even a question in my mind that you start another guy on that team. However, it was interesting to where, all right, this is now another game where we need you to go out and hold a team to 3 or less runs. We need a quality start out of you, Carlos, and he delivered. He definitely delivered. And when he's doing that, then, and the pitching continues to do what they're doing, I don't know. They're not going to sustain this offense, but if they can somehow find a gear that gets them 4 or 5 runs a game, I mean, isn't that the magic number, right?
Yeah.
Then it would be fantastic for St. Louis to make a push late in the season.
I mean, they've played good baseball.
Yeah, they have. They really have.
Haven't they, for the most part? I mean,
their defense is shorn up. I mean, their base running isn't as bad.
I don't think the defense or base running are going to be a strength of your team. But your pitching is.
Yes.
And your starters are number 4 in all of baseball right now.
It's crazy.
Your relievers, you've mentioned it. Trevor Rosenthal is shut down right now. And your bullpen and ERA, 8th in Major League Baseball. That is a playoff team.
Yes, it is.
Your offense is not.
Nope.
Now, can they get on a hot streak? Can they be above average the rest of the year? I still have huge doubts about that.
So do I.
Especially when the team you're chasing is the Chicago Cubs, who obviously have some flaws, right? But they are just so much more talented offensively than you. Their pitching is settling in and pitching pretty well, though the bullpen, Carl Edwards, now having struggles. That's the team you're chasing. That's the level you got to play up to. That's where I just don't see the Cardinals doing that. But their pitching is good enough to do that, which gives them at least a chance.
At least a chance.
I don't see them catching the Cubs at the end of the season, but your pitching does give you a chance.
I'll give credit to this. You're getting a Colton Wong back who has had a pretty good season. You're getting Dexter Fowler back now. He started last night, had a big game for the Cardinals last night. You're starting to get a couple of pieces in there. You're also starting to figure out that Stephen Piscotty has been really bad this year.
Piscotty and Grichuk are,
they've been horrible.
Not going to be core players, at least for the rest of this season.
Not at all. And you've sent Piscotty down, and I know there was a little bit of an issue with him trying to figure all that out, but it's one of those situations. I even read an article today about Aledmus Diaz and the fact that he still doesn't understand why he was sent down. Do you want me to mail you your stats?
Have you looked at Paul DeJong's stat line too, or Paul DeJong's?
I can mail you your stats, Aledmus, if you want to look at that and see how much further down you are defensively and offensively. But you're slowly, I don't even want to say this, but it seems like with Pham and some of these other guys, you're slowly getting into where, all right, this is our best 9. Let's take the field with this 9 and let's see what happens. And if that means Jose Martinez in right field, and if that means Tommy Pham in left, and that means Dexter Fowler in center, then that's what you go with. Yep. You ride the hot hands. And Jose Martinez has been as hot as anybody. I don't want to say in baseball, but he's been incredible lately. You ride that hot hand. Tommy Pham's your MVP of this team. And you get Colton Wong back. DeYoung has been solid. I think even defensively he's been solid at shortstop. You still have issues at third base because Jerko's coming back to the means.
Yeah.
But Matt Carpenter's starting to heat up. Who knows?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you try and add a piece? You still can trade, right?
Yes.
Guys who go through waivers.
Yes.
And this team, they didn't trade Lance Lynn.
No.
They didn't trade some of the pieces that they could have to sell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're all in on this year. I think they're like, okay, let's see what we can get, and we'll get the comp pick for Lance Lynn if he leaves us. Though it sounds like they might want to keep him.
I agree.
Jay Bruce is out there.
I was about ready to say, we can add somebody if it's not a second baseman or an outfielder.
Well, Jay Bruce is an outfielder. He also can play first base.
Yes, he can.
He's a lefty, a power bat.
Matt Carpenter, welcome back to third base.
Jay Bruce is probably a guy I want betting 5th on most playoff teams.
But he's going to hit 40 home runs this year, isn't he?
Yeah, close to it.
Close to it.
I mean, he's a power bat. He probably won't cost you anything. Right? I mean, the Mets probably just don't want to pay him the rest of the year because they're out of this thing.
Yes.
Maybe you give him a low-level prospect.
Yes.
Would you consider adding to this team just for what the heck?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Let's try and give the Cubs a little run here.
Let's see if he's Will Clark the year that he came over and sparked the Cardinals to the playoffs.
7 weeks of Jay Bruce. Let's see what we can do.
Wouldn't it be interesting because you could plug Carp back at third? And I feel bad for that guy. They just keep shipping him around the infield, but he's a professional. He'd be fine. Ship him to third. Jerko loses his job, unfortunately, and of course you got Colton Wong at second, or you could put platoon. I don't know what you could do.
Take Grichuk the heck out of that one.
Yeah, or you just put, I guess he would play right field, right?
Yeah.
So you'd put him in right field and you'd keep everything else the same. Heck yes, I would do that. And I don't know what it would cost you in terms of low minor leaguers.
I don't think it costs you very much. No one even called on Jay Bruce.
Isn't that amazing? Is it just because he strikes out all the time? Or what is up with Jay Bruce?
Besides the Cardinals, which playoff team needs a bat?
Well, good call. Isn't that the
every
truth?
team is loaded with bats right now.
Maybe that's an advantage for the Cardinals.
That's why pitching is so expensive. That's why everyone's trying to trade for pitching.
You know what? That is so funny you say that because in my mind, I started running down all the playoff teams, and it's like, nope.
The Nationals, no. They don't need anybody.
Dodgers don't need anybody.
Cubs don't need anybody.
No. Astros don't need anybody.
The Dodgers don't need anybody, and they added Yu Darvish because they could.
Hey, we don't even know if you're going to play, but we just like having you on the team. Yes, that would be wonderful. I read that article not on getting Jay Bruce, but I read an article on Jay Bruce the other day and the fact that the Mets are willing to get rid of him and would get rid of him, and that's where it shocked me. I knew that he was having a good year. I didn't know he was a potential 40 home run guy.
Yeah.
And if you're the Cardinals, you're sitting there going, what do we need more than anything? You need somebody that can hit a home run.
Jay Bruce is still just 30 years old.
Wow.
Does that sound weird?
What happened to him with the Reds?
Former top prospect. Well, the Reds were rebuilding, so they shipped him off to the Mets mid last year. But last year he hit 33 home runs. This year, 29 home runs, hitting .260 with a .324 on base, .528 slugging percentage. Actually, this has been one of his better defensive years, though he's subpar.
I was going to
defensively. He's not bad in right field now.
Well, he'd fit right in then if he's subpar.
He's having his best year since 2013.
I would take a chance. In a heartbeat.
Take a chance.
And he gets back to the NL.
Not?
And he gets back to the NL Central that he's very familiar with.
I mean, do we really want to go like, okay, we owe it to Grichuk or we owe it to Piscotty?
No, not at all.
Play him out there in right field or first base, whatever it is.
I think you're seeing that now with the fact that Grichuk has been sent down once or twice this year, and now Piscotty's gone.
Sounds like they were trying to trade Grichuk, and nobody wanted.
Big time. Even Piscotty. And it sounds like with Piscotty, it was more of a kind of a, how do I say this? They talked to some West Coast teams because he's from the West Coast, and his mom has Lou Gehrig's disease. And I think it was one of those that if the deal made sense and we could get you closer to your mom, then it would be a win-win for everyone. Listen, I think the Cardinals and John Mozeliak and Mike Matheny now are in the position of we're going to play the hot hand. We've got a month and a half essentially.
Maybe at this point.
Yeah. So at this point, we're done trying to get Grichuk at bats to see if he's going to get better. We're done giving Piscotty at bats to see if he's going to get better. That's exactly what has happened, and now you're starting to see the Cardinals score a few runs. But like you, I'm not going to get excited because we could be sitting here on Friday and I could be ripping on the Cardinals for never scoring runs.
Listen, they just got to 500 for the first time since what, May?
June. It was June like 6th or something.
Okay.
Isn't that unbelievable?
It was basically May.
Basically May.
Right? So they get to 500. You're feeling good today.
You do.
They have to make a ridiculous run.
You do.
Right? I mean, just even catch the Cubs, you still have to win a bunch of games in a row because the Cubs, at worst, are probably going to go 500 over the next couple of weeks.
Well, you can't win 6 in a row if you don't win the first one. So why not, right? Why not? Let's sweep the Royals, see what happens. The Cardinals still have to do a West Coast swing. I was impressed with the Cubs last night coming out on the West Coast, and they just started mashing early and got a big lead.
The Giants are terrible.
They're bad.
I know we think of the Giants as a great franchise. They're 44-70 right now.
Yes. And Bumgarner, is he back pitching?
I
think he is, and the Cubbies miss him. I think he threw like the day before the series started.
Yeah.
So that's a break for you. But still, I just was impressed with the Cubs coming out going, you know what? It's the start of a West Coast swing. We just got hammered at home. Let's come out and show something. And they did against a bad Giants team.
That Javi Baez.
Oh.
That was a home run in 29 other power plays, right? So he almost got thrown out of the play by a phenomenal throw.
Wow.
By the outfielder there, but
that was fun though to watch.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, he scooted around those bases once he realized it was staying in the park, but those dimensions out in San Francisco.
I would
feel
not
bad for lefties out there. That's why it's amazing Bonds hit so many home runs, even if he was steroided up. I mean, you got to get it out there.
You do, and I think he hated playing there in terms of defensively.
Yeah.
I don't think he enjoyed that outfield at all in San Francisco, but a good win for the Cubbies. Cardinals do gain ground on Milwaukee. Cubs add their lead, of course, on Milwaukee. So a good night overall for our two area teams, and we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Jose Quintana going tonight for the Chicago Cubs, and he's been really good.
Yes, he has.
He's been really good.
Yes, he has. And, of course, the last game was kind of a weird one because it was rained, 2 stoppages in rain, so that was tough on him.
Did you watch the Cubs game at all early?
Yes.
When they had Lars Ulrich?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they had Lars Ulrich in the booth, the drummer from Metallica.
No, I missed it.
Was the Metallica show last night after the game, or they got a Metallica show coming up?
Okay.
But he was there for 2 innings.
Nice.
And I know a lot of people.
Well, you know what? I wasn't listening. I was watching. I'm sorry. So I wasn't listening. I had it on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But no sound on because I had a guy working on my house last night inside because you and I aren't handy.
Okay. Well, they have a Metallica show. I think it was at AT&T Park.
Okay.
Or they have one coming up, and they had Lars Ulrich in there for a couple innings. And there are a lot of fans of baseball who are like, why are they having this infomercial? I enjoyed the conversation. Because Metallica is a fascinating band.
Absolutely.
They're doing these ballpark tours. I think that's really cool. They talked to Lars about Enter Sandman being Mariano Rivera's song. I thought that was a really cool conversation.
Why not? That's awesome.
But I was thinking, Lon, what do you think of Metallica?
You know what? I'm actually not a huge Metallica fan.
Right. It was in your era.
It was in my era.
It's a little harder.
Right.
Than you go for.
Because I like that kind of music, but not too much of it.
Yeah.
So with Metallica, I am the classic. Their popular songs are the ones I like. Okay. Does that make sense?
Like Enter Sandman, you know really, really well. You know that really well. Hold on.
Oh, boy. So it's one of those where, a lot of times you might like a band on the peripheral, and that's what I am with Metallica. If it's a popular song, I like it. Oh, yeah. I love they're doing a ballpark tour.
Yeah. I mean, no one sounded like this before they came on, right?
No. This is when you were young and your eardrums were in good shape and you just walked up to the speaker and you just stood there and heard it as loud as you can.
Because, like, back then it was known as metal.
Yes.
This to me is hard rock.
I agree.
Like, this was more...
I agree.
Mainstream, and obviously the Black Album with Enter Sandman and all that kind of stuff.
I think they got caught. They almost got caught in being designated a heavy metal when in reality, I think this is more mainstream to me.
Now they had some thrash metal.
They did.
There was some thrash metal involved in there.
Oh, this is good, man.
Yeah.
Why don't I listen to this more?
I think you love that.
I do.
Some of the riffs, man.
I think for me it just came down to there's only so many bands I can listen to. Oh, this is good. How do you
they have the longest intros.
Right? How do you know? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good stuff.
And of course, this is a big one.
Oh.
I'm almost like, this one almost became like, I've heard it too many dang times.
Right.
This is actually like the 10th or 12th Metallica song. Most people probably say, if you're a huge Metallica fan, way down the list.
If you're a big fan,
you're a Metallica snob, yeah.
Correct. Oh,
but man. Got popular.
Did they this is like Fox putting a microphone in the cup at golf. It's almost like they're the first ones that invented a mic right by the drum. It just sounds louder than any other band. There we go.
No one did the build-up at the beginning of a song better than Metallica. All these songs, it's like a minute before you hear James Hetfield.
And everybody in their car's already messed up with the no. There it is. Ah! Nope. See?
Not yet.
20 other people just did it right there.
Make you wait for it.
I know it.
Drums.
Ah! And I'm glad you introduced this today. Yeah, they literally have about a 3-minute deal before you even hear singing.
That's right.
They're like bluegrass almost.
Yeah. This might be one of their best.
That's not
ones.
true. I mean, bluegrass is awesome until they start singing. Oh.
See, I was thinking you'd be more into them, Ron. Because there's some really mainstream kind of songs.
I know.
You want to bang your head, this is the band. Right?
I'm looking in there, and Harry and Austin are both in there like, What night do you put on Metallica? What mood are you in when you throw Metallica in?
I could be in the happiest mood ever. I put this on. That's how I am.
That or you're just...
I mean, you know me. I'm a happy guy.
Yes.
I listen to some hard rock music. Just makes me feel good.
This is just getting stuff out of your system here. Oh, I like it. So they're going to do ballpark tours.
They've done a lot of ballparks. Yeah.
Were they in St. Louis?
I think so.
I think you're right.
I'm not sure on that.
GNR was down there. Now they weren't playing at Busch Stadium, but that would be interesting. Now you kind of want. Now I kind of want to go to a Metallica concert. I mean, why not? Even if you don't know the words.
You know enough songs.
Yes.
With Metallica.
But even if you don't know the words, you can just sit there and be like, yeah, I'm just like the guy next to me, like nodding my head just in unison.
All right, maybe we'll play some more Metallica throughout the show.
Please.
We are going to get Illini football heavy. I've been at camp the last 2 weeks. What I wanted to do when we come back is kind of break down the team.
I want you to lie to me. I want you to lie.
I've had a lot of people tell me that. Like, I'll put on our website, like, hey, this is what I see, and people are like, that's not what I want to hear.
That's not what we want to hear, Jeremy.
I go, do you want the truth or do you want...
No. Can you skirt the truth a little? Like, I don't want you to lie, but can you remain...
Okay, here's what we're going to do.
Okay, help me remain optimistic.
We are going to rank the positional groups.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you some reasons for optimism within this.
I like that.
By the end of it, you probably won't be as sunny. But I do want to talk about the freshmen as well.
Okay.
And that is a reason for optimism.
I was going to say, it sounds like from reading your articles on Illini Inquirer.
I don't have the bell. Where's the bell?
The bell is gone.
I leave for a day.
The bell is gone.
Bell is gone.
The bell is gone.
What's happening to the show?
What's happening to SJ Broadcasting in general? Who would come in and steal a bell?
The Illini Inquirer bell.
.com. Yeah. We should put that old sticker tape that you used to put on a golf ball or whatever. But reading those articles, the freshmen are making an impact here.
And maybe some guys that surprise you.
Okay.
Some names that weren't that big on signing day. So we'll talk about those.
Excited about it. I
We'll
wanna
hear
hear
from
this.
some of the coaches. We're hoping to hear from a player. It sounds like we will around 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So they get out of practice around 5 o'clock.
Awesome.
So maybe Kendrick Foster, maybe Christian DeLauro are two of the ones we were talking about.
That'd be cool.
So
That'd
hopefully
be
we'll
cool.
hear from an Illini player. We'll talk to Doug Bouchon, orangeandbluenews.com, about the Calvin Avery commitment,
Okay.
what that means for Illinois, what it means for this class. Right now, Scout has him number 30 in the
saw
country.
that.
And number 6 in the Big Ten. Calvin Avery, a big get.
Wow.
Now, the composite, which takes 24/7 in Rivals, has a much lower than that.
Okay.
63 overall, but Scout's liking this class so
Okay.
far. So we'll talk to Doug Bouchon, orangeandbluenews.com, part of Rivals.com. And at 5:45, we got Tay's Take, brought to you by DP Doe. Ask Galante any random question, and he will answer it with a fury you've never seen before.
Oh, I was hoping to be a Fury. I hope that'd be a drum Fury right there by Metallica, but it wasn't.
If you want to weigh in, call the Jupiter's the Crossing phone line or text the Cheap Hour text line at 217-359-2255. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Tay and J Show. Download the WSJK app. Watch us live on YouTube. Just search Tay and J Show. Get the podcast at espncu.com or find us on iTunes. That's all powered by GTPS Insurance. Austin Burke will have an update when we come back. Harry Black is here. I heard the Would You Rather yesterday. I was confused, too.
I was totally confused.
The third option really confused me.
I told him, I'm like, Harry, my mental capacity at the end of a show is not strong. They need to be concise and very small questions.
And Jack Long is
Jack
back
Long
there
is here as well.
Is anybody else over there?
I think that's it.
Okay.
We're slowly just getting rid of interns.
Good.
Nobody knows where they are. We're just slowly getting rid of them and not letting them back in the building.
All right, we'll talk some Illini football coming up next.
The same people you trust after a fire or water disaster will also keep your house clean year-round. That's because the specialists at ServPro of Champaign-Urbana and South Champaign County are trained in every category of cleaning, from mold remediation to the cleaning of carpets, upholstery, air ducts, and crawl spaces. They're here to help protect every square foot of your most valuable possessions. ServPro of Champaign-Urbana and South Champaign County, or visit them at servproofchampaignUrbana.com. That's the bright green cleanup team at ServPro of Champaign-Urbana and South Champaign County. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Hey, it's me, your old AC. We need to talk, man. I am out of hair. Trust me. It's not going to get much better. I need to be replaced. Call the experts and get a new air conditioner that will save up to 50% on energy bills. Go ahead. Do it. I'll be right here. Whew.
At Chief Bauer Service Experts, save up to $3,100 on a new home comfort system. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefbauer.com. For expert service guaranteed.
Call 866-EXPERTS.
Protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. Buyer's inspection with a buyback guarantee and seller's inspection. No surprises before closing. Owned by me, Aaron Allenbaugh, and my wife Kim, and serving all of East Central Illinois. Get more details and schedule your inspection today at aamarshall.net.
Escape to Legends Golf Course in Champaign for your next round of golf. This well-maintained 9-hole course sits nestled off Staley Road in Champaign. Legends hosts a top-quality range and facility to work on your game or an afternoon of family entertainment. Wanting to take your game to the next level? Legends offers club and fittings, PGA certified lessons from Greg Flessner. Legends Golf Course. Take a swing with them off Staley Road in Champaign.
Community Credit Union for campus and community.
Celebrate with 0%, 50,000 bonus points, and 5 times points. The University of Illinois is celebrating 150 years, and the U of I Community Credit Union is getting in on the celebration with this exclusive offer. Now through September 30th, open a new Illini Visa and watch the advantages roll in, like 0%. That's right, 0% on all purchases until May 2018 for qualified applicants. Plus, everyone who opens a new Illini Visa rewards card could earn up to 50,000 bonus points. Use those points to purchase trips, gift cards, electronics, and more. But that's not all. All reward cardholders will earn 5 times points on U of I purchases. Apply for your card today at IlliniCard.org. That's IlliniCard.org. Celebrate the University of Illinois and get rewarded, because no one cheers louder for the community than the U of I Community Credit Union.
U of I Community Credit Union
it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday mornings 7 to 9, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Berglund with the 3:30 Sports Center update presented by State Farm agent John K. Wood. Life insurance is one of those subjects that make people want to change the subject rather than admit they probably don't have enough. Find how the benefits of life insurance can live on for your family. Call State Farm agent John K. Wood in Champaign at 217-367-1105. The bullpen didn't blow it. The Cubs won against the Giants last night 5-3.
Dang it.
Javier Baez hit a 2-run inside the park homer. Anthony Rizzo was 3 for 5 with a run batted in. The Cubs moved to 59-52 and now are a game and a half over the Brewers, who fell to the Twins last night. The Cubs and Giants played again tonight. It's Jose Quintana taking on Ty Block. Game time is 9:15 on US 105.9. The Cards and Royals played their Show Me State cross-state battle last night. The Cards got the upper hand in Game 1, 11-3. There was a trio of homers by the Birds, Carpenter, Wong, and DeYoung. Martinez pitched his ace-quality material, hurling 8 innings of 7 hit, 2 earned run ball with 7 Ks and no walks. The Cardinals are 3.5 back of the Cubs in Central. Game time is 7:15 and listened right here on ESPN CU 93.5. The White Sox take on the 71-40 Astros tonight from Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. It's Derek Holland for the home team taking on the 2015 AL Cy Young winner Dallas Keuchel, who has a 2.15 ERA, a WHIP of 1, and a 7.96 K per 9. And that, my friends, is the Sports Center update.
You were short.
There's not much sports news going on.
Oh, okay.
It's a rough time.
Thank you, Austin. Hey, join Hula Hands for live local music every Thursday evening this summer. Patio Play, located on the beautiful, secluded outdoor patio, features new live performances each week and $4.95 martini drink specials. Rain or shine, the show will go on. They'll just simply bring the party inside. This Thursday, Rick Cubits and Terry Bush are your entertainment. What is today, Tuesday? Tonight, half-price bottles of wine. They don't mess around with glasses of wine.
Bottles, get after it.
Right when you walk in, they're handing you bottles of wine. Hula Hands and the iHotel, great spot to be. Awesome for dinner as well. Check them out, and especially on Thursdays, live music on Patio Play.
It is August 8th. It's hard to believe.
It is.
But we are what? 25 days away.
That's crazy.
From the season opener of Illinois football 2017.
Did I tell you I'm going to miss Game 1?
Are you really?
I am going to Lake Tahoe.
Well, that's a better idea. That's probably a cooler thing to be doing.
You were waiting for me to say I am going to be in Windsor, Illinois at a golf match.
Right.
No, I'm going to Lake Tahoe. It's a wedding.
That's not bad.
No. So
it's not a bad place to
be. I don't even feel bad about missing Game 1. I am going to be here for our college game day show because we don't leave till Saturday.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going to miss Game 1 right off the bat. But it is amazing because when this wedding thing came up and I started looking at it to plan it, I'm like, well, hold on a second. That's got to be when Illinois starts the season, and that is not that far off. It is amazing. We just did Ag Days, as you know, down in Villa Grove. That, to me, is kind of the, all right, you've got about one more weekend of summer before you really start hitting tailgates every Saturday, golf for Lucas, all that stuff, back to school. So really this weekend is kind of like my last hurrah.
See, my wife hasn't gotten to that swing yet where it's back to school time.
Exactly.
But in 3 or 4 years, I'll be right there with you.
I started thinking of this the other day because I'm coaching Andrew's 5th, 6th grade team, and Lucas is starting his senior year. And I started thinking the other day, I'm like, I wonder if I'll have a night free. One night free. And then, of course, Fridays we have our show. Saturday we have Illinois tailgates and games. And it's like, you know what? Then the NFL starts. Pretty much every day is designated except, I think, Thursday.
Yeah, is fall the busiest, but spring it feels like, for me, spring on the sports calendar is the best.
Yes.
Because baseball just arrives, basketball and hockey playoffs, NFL draft.
Yep. Masters.
College March Madness,
Right.
Masters,
Yes.
which we got the PGA Championship
Right.
this
That's right.
week.
I have no doubt. And Mike Small playing in it.
Yeah.
Mike Small, D.A. Points, Thomas Peters, Steve Stricker, 4 Illini, I believe,
Peters
playing in that.
been playing
Oh, yes, he has.
ridiculously.
Can he cheer up? Do you ever watch him?
I mean, he's a Mike Small golfer.
He is an intense guy. I mean, I was watching him in that last tournament. I know I'm going all over the place.
Have you
here.
ever seen Mike?
No, I know.
Ridiculously.
No.
I mean, I've seen Mike smile.
Yeah, oh, sure.
A couple times.
That's it, though. You're right now that you say that. Mike Small is one of the nicest people you
Yes.
ever meet.
He's
But
awesome.
when you get him between the ropes, if you will, yeah, they're dead serious. And Thomas Peters is about as serious as any golfer I've ever seen. He will not smile. He looks like he wants to beat you up every time you see him. It's like, yikes. But you're right. I think the fall, though, is a busy and it's fun because you've got your weekends in the fall are completely eaten up by football on Saturday, college, and football on Sunday, NFL.
And it's the best.
And if you don't like football, then you hate the fall, basically, because your husband or your wife, whichever one is excited in football, is all inclusive in football.
Thomas Peters now up to 23rd.
Is he really?
In the world.
And he's what, 4 years out of school? Is that about
2013 was his final year when they finished runner-up.
And
he won the NCAA championship.
Top 30 in the country.
He
in the world,
finished fourth at the Bridgestone last week.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah, he's playing really, really
He really
well.
is. All right, Illinois football underway, training camp. What are we, week 2, I guess?
Yep.
Week 2 of training camp. Let me ask you this.
This will be the 8th practice,
okay,
I believe, today.
Okay. And I am knocking on wood right now. You hear that?
Yeah.
Have there been any really injuries so far for this Illinois team?
Jalen Dunlap hasn't practiced yet.
Okay.
And when does that start to become a concern?
Right.
Now, they did start a week earlier this year.
Oh, that's right.
The
Everybody
NCAA
was able to
got
do that.
rid of 2-a-days, and they started a week earlier. So, yeah, that's they've given him a little time off.
Okay.
Christian DeLauro has been nicked up a little bit.
Okay.
So that knee is a little bit of a concern. I think it's a hamstring as well. He's been nicked up in his career. But these are veterans that don't need a lot of practice.
Good call.
One concern right now, Larry Boyd is sidelined.
Okay.
And some of the guys who are sidelined for a day or two, whatever it is, they're wearing pads. Larry Boyd wasn't wearing pads yesterday. So
Okay.
he suffered a shoulder injury. I don't know what the severity is. Lovie Smith doesn't talk very much about that stuff.
Fair enough.
So that is a concern, but we'll see as it goes along how long these guys are out. But no serious injuries quite.
Which has been the case, it seems like, the last 2 or 3 years.
Right.
It seems like
It's been
by
in the
now.
spring where they've been getting
Well,
them.
that's true, actually. Now that you say that, it was the spring and
Yeah.
when they were getting hurt.
Now Dre Brown still not practicing.
Okay.
So, but we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Running back's a pretty good position of strength.
Pretty deep. All right, you want to start offense or do you want to start defense?
Well, I got them ranked.
Oh, you have them ranked.
Position groups are ranked.
Okay.
For Illinois. Which position do you think I have number 1?
Number 1 would be, I think it's wide receiver.
No.
I think it's running backs.
I have running backs and linebackers tied.
Oh, I was going to go linebacker third.
I had a hard time picking one.
Okay.
Because right now Reggie Corbin's been a little nicked up. Linebacker I think is a little deeper. I do think running back you might have some more top-end talent.
Okay.
Those are two positions I really, really like on this team. I think they are Big Ten competitive. I think other teams have this, good teams, and they would be good.
Yes.
I think the linebacker crew and running backs. At running back, we don't mention it enough because we kind of know what he is, but Kendrick Foster's looked really good.
Yeah, yes.
He's picked up where he left off last year.
Okay.
He's gotten a little better. His vision's great. His burst is great. I think he's a good starting running back for his senior year. I think he could have a big year. Now, he doesn't have to carry the load, though.
No.
We know what Reggie Corbin can do, but I got to tell you, I think Mike Epstein's going to push him for touches because Mike Epstein is bigger, has good vision for a freshman, and just has a burst that Reggie Corbin lacks. I know Reggie's the scat back, right? He probably runs a 4.8, 40.
Wow.
I mean, he's not that fast. I mean,
Okay.
think of all the times he broke away.
No, I agree, and he gets
got
caught.
from
Yep.
behind. I don't think Mike Epstein's getting caught from behind by a lot of people.
Okay.
So he's a good receiver out of the backfield. I think he's going to play a lot. And Rayvon Bonner looks good, too. I
Okay.
mean, he's more of a not as sexy, doesn't make people miss as much, hits the hole hard, good vision, and he's got decent speed. So I think both those running backs are going to be pretty good. Then hopefully you add Dre Brown to the mix at some point. But I think you have 4 running backs at least who are good Big Ten running backs.
What, a couple of years ago, or was that last year we had like 2?
Yeah. Well, going into last year,
You had Keyshawn.
You got Keyshawn, and what else?
Right.
And then Reggie turns into a nice change of pace guy.
And Kendrick had a great year.
Now you add Epstein and Bonner to that. I think this is one of the strengths of the team.
Epstein's going to be fun. I'm telling you right now, in 4 or 5 years, we're going to look back at this kid's career, and it's going to be splendid. And it's going to be one of those where this kid stayed on through 3 coaches. There's just something special about him.
It's a great story.
It is a great story, and I hope at the end of his tenure, when they're playing in bowl games, you look back and say he was part of the Renaissance push, if you will.
I know people hate to do this. Credit Cubitt a little bit.
Yeah.
Offer the kid when he had a torn ACL.
Okay.
Got commitment from the kid when he had a torn ACL. That's the other aspect of this. He's come back from that.
Wow.
Had a great high school season. Illinois kept him despite Utah, Miami, a bunch of other programs coming on strong at the end. They kept him. Thad Ward, Lovie Smith did a good job doing that, and he looks like he's going to be a good player.
And credit the kid for being loyal, too,
yes.
and understanding that Illinois had offered. All right, on defense then, your number 2 position is linebacker. That's my boy Trey.
Yeah, linebackers look good. Trey Watson's a good player. I think he's even a better fit at middle linebacker. Okay. He was on the weak side last year. Jake Hansen, a sophomore linebacker, has taken over that weak side role and looked good.
Okay.
He's fast, he's athletic, pretty good tackler as well. And then the strong side, Julian Jones is the X factor.
Man, he looks, we talk about Malik Turner, who looks the part. Since Julian Jones has been on campus, every time I see him, I'm like, how is he not one of the best linebackers in the Big Ten?
No, he had a great game against Michigan. Really was strong, good tackler, looked like he belonged. I mean, it finally seemed like the light clicked for him. Caleb Day was one of those guys who always looked the part.
Right.
I think Julian seems like the lights clicked on for him when it never did for a guy like Caleb. And even Hardy Nickerson told me, you guys ran it the other day, that he's just a more mature player. I think he's comfortable in the scheme right now.
Good.
So I do think Julian Jones can be a very good player for this team. But then you go to the second group. Dele Harding against the run looks really good. I mean, that's a strong second middle linebacker. Now against the pass, he's got some issues. Delshawn Phillips is a kid they expected to start right away. Missed all of the spring, but he's repping with the second team.
Okay.
Justice Williams, I don't know if he's a starter, but that's a great second group guy.
That is 6 deep.
Tall, athletic, can make some plays. So, yeah, that's 6 deep, and you're not even getting into some of the other players who I think can contribute. So I do think they have Big Ten depth. They have probably better depth there than in any position.
I like to hear that. All right, so far, optimistic.
Yes, those are two very optimistic spots there.
So those are tied for first. Running back and linebacker. Is wide receiver number 3?
No, but it's close.
Secondary.
I have defensive tackle.
Oh,
Number
okay.
3. I mixed them up because I'm very optimistic about the defensive tackles. Jamal Milan, if he's healthy, is a very good player.
Yes, he is.
I think he's got the burst. He's got the strength. When he was out there last year, he looked good when he's healthy. That's always been the concern. He's struggled to stay healthy, whether it's through a training camp or through a season. But I do think he's a very good Big Ten player just as a redshirt sophomore.
Who was the kid that always hurt his foot?
Tico Powell.
Yeah. I hope Jamal Milan does not become the next Tico Powell.
Yeah, Tico had a foot, which is always more concerning than even a knee.
When you're 300 pounds and you're walking on this and playing on
Jamal's had some knee issues.
Okay.
But Tamir Oliver is a breakout candidate. Now, I don't think he's going to be a sexy player, but he's what a Big Ten defensive tackle looks like. He's 6'4", 285, and just has a motor on him. He's longer than Kenyon Jackson. Kenyon kind of has gone to the 4th or 5th defensive tackle here.
Has he really?
Now, he's a strong player, probably the strongest player on the team, but he's 5'10", 290, 300 pounds. You need a longer guy in the middle of that defense that can affect both the run game and the passing game. Just get those hands up. And Tamir Oliver has really emerged there.
Another Cubitt guy, right?
Yeah.
Another Cubitt guy from Philadelphia.
From Philadelphia. Cubitt able to recruit him. He looks good right now.
Okay.
Tito Odenigbo, I think, is a solid player, solid rotation player.
I've heard that name for 10 years.
Yeah, just solid.
Right.
I don't know if you're going to love him as a starter, but a good rotational player that you can count on. Then Kendrick Green, I think, is going to play this year. He's got ups and downs. I think he'll have ups and downs this year, but he's got to burst up the middle. And then you got depth there.
Right.
Deion Pate has looked solid there. Jamal Woods has looked solid there. And Larry Oladipo is probably the rawest of the group. But if that's your 4th string defensive tackle, redshirt him, and you got a couple years, but I think that's a deep position for Illinois.
Is that one of those where you basically have the two guys on the interior of that line? How often do they rotate those guys out? Do you think Lovey, did you see any kind of trend last year?
Lovey played, 9-10 guys on
so
the defensive line last year. So even if you're a third stringer, you got a chance to play. And he played Tamir Oliver as a freshman, played Kenyon Jackson as a freshman. He's not going to be afraid to. I think Kendrick Green's definitely going to play, and then there might be another freshman who plays.
Be interesting to watch that. All right, then that is number 3, defensive tackle. I assume wide receiver is 4.
I do have wide receiver 4. It's a thin group still.
Okay.
And you're counting on Mikey Dudek to come back.
Fair enough.
Malik Turner's a pro. I have no concerns about him. Dudek, you're counting on some health, but if he's back, boy, that's huge. Sam Mays had a nice camp. Good. Andrew A. Stoker has some really high expectations for him, so I think he's a breakout candidate. Ricky Smalling looks the part.
Does he?
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen him a couple practices, but
fast.
He's pretty fast. There's no elite trait there.
Is he Anquan Bolden
of the college ranks?
Yeah,
I mean, Anquan was 6'3".
Well, right.
Ricky's 6'1".
Okay,
but he's really athletic, can go up and get a ball.
Yes,
physical, competitive. Yeah, I think that of the college ranks, that can be kind of a comparison. He's going to make an immediate impact. I mean, he doesn't look like a freshman, doesn't play like a freshman. But he does a lot of good things. Is refined and just has that mentality. Carmani Green's raw.
Okay.
But he's really fast. Kendall Smith actually has come in and impressed me and surprised me. He's bigger than any of the other freshman receivers, probably about 6'2". He's added a lot of strength. He's athletic, and he's got strong hands.
Nice.
You didn't see a lot of physicality out of him out of high school, but he's come in here and made a little bit of an impact. So I expect he could play at some point this year. The depth is the concern for me because they still only have, 7 scholarship wide receivers. They got a lot of walk-ons getting a lot of reps right now. So if you have a couple injuries, that's an area of concern.
All right, so positive so far.
Yeah.
You started to add a little bit of critique there with the depth and all that. I have a feeling we're going to start getting into more of what I don't want to hear.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we'll break down. That's the top 4 in order, tied at first. Jeremy's positional groups at Illinois, tied for first. You had
running back and linebacker.
Okay.
Third, I had defensive tackle. 4 wide receivers. I think those are Big Ten competitive groups.
Okay.
I think you might have one more.
Okay.
I think you might have one more.
I want to at least start the next segment on a positive.
You might have one more.
All right, so the optimists out there, we got one more for you. The pessimists, your time's coming. It is the Tay and J Show.
Hanson's Auto Repair in Urbana is a family-owned and operated full-service garage. For over 40 years, they've offered friendly atmosphere, quality work, and reasonable prices. Whether it's an oil change, brake service, or engine replacement, Hanson's Auto does it all. They're a locally owned dealer who cares, providing fast, comprehensive, and expert service. Family-owned, operated, and trusted since 1966. Hanson's Auto Repair, 1202 East Washington in Urbana. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Visit them online at hansonsautorepair.com.
You already know Houlihan's Restaurant and Bar at the iHotel is a great restaurant, but don't forget about the bar. Fantastic drink specials and mouth-watering menu items from snacks to full meals. A nice selection of draft, craft, and domestic beers, and just about any cocktail you can imagine. Watch a game with multiple flat screens on all sides of the bar, or grab some tables and make it a party. Drink specials daily, plus Houlihan's is now serving a delicious hot breakfast 7 days a week. Houlihan's at the iHotel. Check them out at the corner of 1st Street and St. Mary's Road, just south of the State Farm Center.
Are you looking for a new home or planning to refinance your existing home? Hi, this is Todd Durakan from First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, getting you and your home faster with loan closings in 30 days, mortgage loans, and refinancing that's fast, friendly, and local. We invite you to visit our experienced team of mortgage experts to find out how First Federal Savings Bank can help you with your loan closing in 30 days. For more information, visit 356bank.com. First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. Get what you want out of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm Chris Drummond, owner of Drummond Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning. Since 2006, we've provided the best professional carpet cleaning in the Champaign-Urbana area. At Drummond Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning, we use the Rotovac carpet restoration system to assure the best carpet and upholstery cleaning service. For just $99, we offer carpet cleaning for 3 rooms or 4 rooms at $29.95 per room. Google Drummond Carpet Cleaning and see what our customers have been saying, or call for a free estimate at 217-722-3663. Drummond Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning. If we didn't clean it, it isn't clean.
Pekin Insurance and your local independent agent are committed to providing the best coverage options and the best service possible. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at PekinInsurance.com and on social media. Check them out on Facebook at Facebook.com/Pekin Insurance. It's a great way to learn more about insurance for your auto, home, life, or business. You'll stay up to date with important announcements. Plus, they'll throw in a few fun facts along the way. For beyond the expected information, follow Pekin Insurance on Facebook today.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Latte, Jeremy Werner. Jeremy breaking down from top to bottom, from best to worst.
Yep.
Is it worst or worse in that situation? I asked
Worst.
Worst with a T.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did say it right.
Because worst is when there's two.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Worst is when there's multiple.
Good call. So worst.
It's like between or among. Between
Nice.
is between two. Among is among three or more.
I just learned something that I'm sure I learned that growing up, but I probably was asleep that day.
I probably learned it more in journalism school than anything.
Than anything else.
The AP style book.
So we've given you the top four. You said you're optimistic about one other positional group on this team.
Yeah, our top four positional groups are running back, linebacker, defensive tackle, and receiver for Illinois. My number 5 is...
I think I know it.
What?
Safety.
It is. And it's gotten a little more depth than I thought it would have.
That was funny the way you... It is.
Patrick Nelson, great.
Yes.
Freshman year. Redshirt freshman year. Stanley Green made some plays, and I think everyone thought, Nelson Green, they'll be back. That'll be your safety group.
For the next 3 years.
Stanley Green's not starting right now.
Wow.
And it doesn't shock me all that much because as good as he was against the run, made no plays against the pass. And what does Lovie Smith want?
Yep. Turnovers.
Takeaways.
Yep.
He wants takeaways, and he wants interceptions more than anything. Stanley Green forced 3 fumbles, but can you count on that? Is that going to be consistent?
Good call.
I mean, it wasn't like he had the peanut punch. He just hit people hard.
Mm-hmm.
They need somebody to be a rangy center fielder, and Bennett Williams, the freshman out of California, looks the part.
Interesting.
He's about 6 foot, 195, so he's a little stronger than we thought he'd be coming in. Really, really smart, and he has a nose for the ball. He's faster than Green.
Okay.
He's about as big as Green. He's got more instincts than Green as a free safety. Would not shock me if Bennett Williams is your starter, and I think I'd be okay with it. He looks really good. Dawson DeGroot is a little undersized.
Got it.
I think he's got to add strength, but he is around the ball a lot. And then you have Julian Hilton, another veteran.
So unfair to do this, but when I saw the picture of Ricky Smalling, I thought Anquan Bolden. When I saw the picture of
Bennett Williams,
I thought Eugene Wilson. As a first thought, because he just kind of looked like him a little bit.
He's got confidence.
Man, if he has his career,
he's not playing like a freshman right now.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So
if he's
safety,
a second round pick, not bad.
All right, so still solid here, but then it goes downhill in a hurry right here. Is the offensive line next?
No, 6. I have defensive ends.
Oh, defense ends. Oh, wow, really?
Yes, because you got a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
You got some depth there.
Okay.
There's some playmakers. I think they'll be okay rushing the passer.
Got it.
What I'm concerned about defensive ends is stopping the run.
Right.
Which matters most in the Big Ten West.
No doubt.
But you have a lot of options. I think Bobby Roundtree is going to be a factor this year. Sean Adesanya looks the part, hasn't had a great camp. A guy who's had a great camp against the pass is James Crawford.
Okay.
Reminds me a lot of Carroll Phillips.
He's quicker,
maybe
right?
not as long, maybe not as fast as Carroll, but he has a burst off the edge that offensive tackles struggle to keep up with. But he also probably is going to run himself out of plays.
Right.
Because he's got one move, and that's to run around
They're
you
going
or
to run
under
him
you.
up the field, and they're going to run right in. Yeah.
They're going to run right in that hole.
Exactly.
Which concerns me. But I do think they'll be good against passing teams. It's the running that I'm concerned about. But there's a lot of depth there. There's a lot of options there. So that's why, if defensive end's number 6, you're probably not feeling too good.
If I gave you, how many sacks do you think did Illinois have last year?
Not as many sacks, but tackles for loss. They were top
They had a
10
ton.
in the country.
Smoot had tons of them, and so did Carroll Phillips. Do you think this team can make any kind of an impact in that regard like they did last year? Probably not.
That's the name of their game, but they don't have Smoot and Phillips.
Yep, exactly.
So
I got you. All right, so defensive ends.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I missing here? You got cornerbacks, you got tight ends, and you have special teams, I assume you did,
and offensive
quarterbacks and offensive line. I'm going to go offensive line next.
No.
Man. I'm going to go quarterback next.
I'm going corner.
Back. Okay. All right. Defensive back.
Jalen Dunlap's really good.
Yes.
He's probably a top 5 player on your team. I don't like the veteran options they're rounding out at number 2. The guy I do like is Tony Adams. Another freshman repping with the starters.
And we're going to get to know about him more next hour.
Tony Adams, really athletic, long, physical, already making plays. Went up yesterday. I took a picture of it. Him and Smalling got into a jump ball, and Tony Adams won it. Ricky doesn't lose many of those.
No, right.
So Tony's got some special.
You sound like Ricky Henderson. Ricky doesn't get thrown out a lot.
Nate Hobbs has been sick with mono. So he's behind schedule right now.
You're not supposed to get that till like your junior year of college.
But Lovie Smith said once he gets out here, you're going to like what you see.
Wow. Okay.
The veteran cornerbacks I'm not as sold on, but you have a premier one in Jalen Dunlap and 2 freshmen I'm excited about.
Next would be, I know it's not tight end. I'm going quarterback.
I'm going quarterback too.
All right.
I don't feel great about it, but I do think Chase Crouch will make some plays.
Okay.
Passing, he hasn't looked good. He's never looked good in practice passing the ball.
Fair enough.
He can run it, and he can make plays. He's at best when he's running around.
Okay.
Play breaks
just going
down.
crazy.
He's going to make some plays.
Is Cam Thomas looking kind of good with regards to the running?
I feel like people, because a lot of people watch practice like, oh, Cam Thomas.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he looks like a quarterback, doesn't he?
Exactly.
He's a talented quarterback. He's got tools. He's going to need time.
Amen.
But he's fast. He's got some athleticism, and he's got a pretty good arm. He's got a much better arm than Chase Crouch. It's just he's going to need some time.
He needs some time.
So I feel like people had no expectation for Cam Thomas when I did. I mean, I think he's a very talented player. He's impressed me more than Jeff George, but I would love to redshirt him. It just depends on Chase Crouch's health.
Fair enough. Next would be offensive line.
Nope.
Tight ends?
I got specialists.
Oh, specialists.
James
Okay.
McCourt.
You're scaring me here with the offensive line.
James McCourt had a nice little practice yesterday.
8 in a row
Had
or
8 in a row. Blake
Nice.
Hayes has a big leg.
Okay.
You got some nice returners.
You got an Irishman and an Australian?
That's right.
Right as your specialist?
All right, number 9, or no, it was number 10.
Offensive line.
Tight ends.
Oh, my goodness.
And I don't like the tight ends.
You're putting tight ends above our offensive line?
Because Nate Eckert, I think, is going to block. I think
Okay.
Griffin Palmer can look the part a little bit.
Goodness, Jeremy.
No, last I got offensive line.
Are you serious?
I am really concerned about this offensive line.
I thought for
guys.
sure this would be not a
All
strength.
right, here's a positive. Nick Allegretti is awesome.
Okay.
He should be an all Big Ten player.
Wow.
I mean, he dominates.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen him lose a rep yet in practice.
Wow. Okay.
Christian Aloro, when healthy, is good.
He's been nicked
He's
up.
a good player. I think he'd start on a lot of Big Ten teams, but he's been nicked up. Had his best year as a redshirt sophomore. Last year he was okay, but I think he's a good player. Gabe Megginson's still waiting for him to turn it on. Still waiting for him to turn it on. And when he has to play tackle, he's not nearly as good as he is at guard.
Okay.
He's just more comfortable at guard. Doesn't have the longest arms. Struggles to keep up with some speed rushers. Just the mental aspect is still catching up.
Yes.
He's not even a concern for me, though.
Okay.
It's the other spots. I mean, Larry Boyd, when he's out, this offensive line just is not very good. They don't have tackles who can keep up with defensive ends. They're young. Doug Kramer can be serviceable at center.
Okay.
But your other guard spot, I don't feel good about unless it's Gabe Megginson. So it's a crew that can be a lot better. It's early in camp.
And not a lot of depth.
But the quarterbacks are running for their lives right now. I do think they can be okay run blocking.
Okay.
You got to be a running team.
They're going to have to run.
Now, this group can go up the ladder, I think, Lon. I think it's got a higher potential than some of these groups, like tight end that I'm talking about. But right now, it's my biggest concern.
That, honestly, is maybe the worst news you could have delivered. Because
That's
know how
not what I
important-
wanted to hear.
That is not how important. Oh, man. All right, next hour, we're going to learn about some of the freshmen that you need to get to know. So stay tuned for that. It's the Tay and J Show.
Hail to the orange. Hail to the blue with Game Day Spirit Fan Store. Game Day is the exclusive retailer of this year's Hail to the Orange t-shirt. Don't miss out on getting yours. Find the exclusive Hail to the Orange t-shirt at any of the Game Day Spirit locations or order online at GameDaySpirit.com. Youth, adult, and extended sizes available in the BOGO section at Game Day Spirit. Located at 519 East Green Street in Campustown and now open at their new location at 1602 South Neal Street in Champaign. Game Day Spirit. Go Illini!
Hey, can you smell that?
Smell what?
The hot and buttery locally grown sweet corn.
Oh, yeah. The Urbana Sweet Corn Festival is coming on August 25th and 26th. Have you heard about all the exciting changes this year?
No, what?
They're partnering with downtown Urbana bars and restaurants for amazing drink specials.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just grab your souvenir sweet corn cup for $6 and pop onto any bar to grab a beer or mixed drink.
So I can go to my favorite downtown Urbana bar and grab a vodka soda and then go dance to the boat drunks?
Yeah, and when you need to take a breather from all your jazzy dance moves, we can stop at the Festival Beer Tent and fill up your magical cup before grabbing a piece of corn and playing some cornhole.
So let me get this straight. We can go to any bar and get any drink and go anywhere in the festival with said drink.
Yep.
Roaming around with a drink in my hand at the Urbana Sweet Corn Festival never tasted so good.
The festival is proudly brought to you by the Urbana Business Association, City of Urbana, Bud Light, Illinois American Water, Eastland Sweets, and this station. For more information, visit UrbanaSweetCornFestival.com.
It's another day. Bob returns after helping the Franklins.
Hey, Bob, how's it going?
I feel bad. Rooter guy's lost another one.
Oh, let me guess. You did another no-clog guaranteed sewer replacement.
Yeah, I do feel good knowing we fixed their problem permanently for 40% less than conventional methods.
Got sewer problems at your home or business? Call Stevens Underground Solutions. We'll see what's going on and give you multiple options for a permanent solution. Stevens Underground Solutions, 202-3385. We'll get you flowing again.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
I'm Jack Callahan. Country music loses a giant.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
Fox News confirms singer-songwriter Glenn Campbell has died. He'd announced in 2011 that he was suffering from Alzheimer's disease and did a final farewell tour. Now his publicist and family confirm that Glenn Campbell, survived by his wife and 8 children, has died this afternoon. Glenn Campbell was 81. Meanwhile, President Trump fired up over what appears to be a greater North Korean nuclear threat.
They will be met with fire, fury, and frankly, power.
Fox's Jared Halpern live in Washington with more.
President Trump's warning comes as reports of new and rapid developments for North Korea's nuclear weapons program. Citing a Defense Intelligence Agency analysis, the Washington Post reports North Korea has miniaturized a nuclear warhead small enough to put inside a missile. U.S. intelligence also estimates, the Post reports, North Korea has up to 60 nuclear weapons, more than earlier assessments. Over the weekend, the UN Security Council approved the toughest sanctions yet on North Korea in response to a pair of intercontinental ballistic missile tests last month. Jack.
Thanks, Jared. More diplomatic pressure being brought to bear on the Kim Jong-un government. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson in Thailand and then in Malaysia urging those countries to help isolate the North.
No daylight among the international community as to the expectation that North Korea will take steps to achieve all of our objectives, which is a denuclearized Korean peninsula.
The Wall Street winning streak is over.
The Dow Jones Industrial Average hit an intraday high but finished down 33 points at 22,085. The S&P 500 also hit an all-time high during the day, finished down 6 at 2474. The Nasdaq Composite down 13, closing at 6370.
Fox's Nicole Petalides at the New York Stock Exchange.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, ADT helps keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home, wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling. ADT. Home. Safe home.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, can I still take advantage of today's low rates? Is it still a good time to refinance? The answer is yes. Now's a great time to call Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%, APR 4.19%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
President Trump getting a briefing today on the opioid epidemic. Part of the solution, stemming the flow of drugs into this country.
We're speaking to other countries, and we're getting cooperation, but we're being very, very strong on our southern border.
Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price.
He was absolutely committed to making certain that we turn this scourge
in the right direction, turn this tide in the right direction.
New Hampshire's Attorney General has filed suit today against Purdue Pharma. That's the company that makes OxyContin. The Attorney General charging the company engaged in deceptive marketing practices. An incident today in the Persian Gulf, a Defense Department official tells Fox News an Iranian drone nearly collided with a Navy fighter jet as it attempted to land on the USS Nimitz. The F-18 pilot took evasive actions and landed safely. At the time, it was the largest automotive recall in history. Toyota's seemingly accelerating by themselves. Now, the federal government is asking to dismiss a lawsuit against the automaker.
It started in 2009 with reports of sudden, unintended acceleration in Toyota vehicles, some involving crashes and fatalities. Toyota later admitted to misleading consumers and making deceptive statements and paid a $1.2 billion fine. This week, the company completed 3 years of oversight by an independent monitor, so the Justice Department is asking a federal judge to dismiss a criminal charge against the automaker. In Washington, Malini Wilkes, Fox News.
Big change coming in the PGA Championship. The Golf Association announcing today it will move the championship from August to May, beginning in 2019. She won the Tony Award for her portrayal as Marion the Librarian in the original production of The Music Man.
There were bells on the hill.
Her publicist says Broadway singer and actress Barbara Cook has died. She was 89. In New York, I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News.
Shoots and scores, Jack Callahan. Callahan.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you comfortable all year long, whether you need cooling or heating. Call the experts at 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, clear, low of 58. Wednesday, mostly sunny, high 82, low of 58. Thursday, another great day, mostly sunny, high 83, low of 65. Right now, sunny, clear, beautiful, comfortable 82 degrees in Champaign-Urbana.
Okay, I might be getting out of hand here, and I want everybody to know that's listening that I am very patriotic. I'm very American. America. Would you rather hear Canada's national anthem than the United States?
Yes.
Did you attend a Canadian event?
Yeah, Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
They play both.
Is it just the start of it? Canada?
It's the melody.
It really is.
Canada is a phenomenal song.
It really is. Sorry, Francis Key Scott.
I love my country.
Yeah.
Oh, say, can you see? What are you talking about? And why is the War of 1812 that important?
Yeah, right.
I guess we stayed back another British invasion.
Right.
But, I mean,
stinking Brits.
That the song just isn't all that great.
Yeah.
Like America the Beautiful is a much better song.
Yes. Yes. I'm with you on this.
But we're so stuck in our ways, we'll never change it.
Well, and when the NHL.
Hashtag hot take.
Right. Well, there you go. I'm glad I brought that out of you. I didn't know you had that passion in you.
Thought that for a while. Oh, Canada's awesome.
It's awesome. And like when they have a hockey game, and I thought of that when you said, "Oh, Callahan," I started in my mind thinking, "Oh, say can." But then I started thinking, wait a minute. Oh, Canada. It's like, yeah.
The only thing about "Oh, say can you see?"
Yeah.
I was 6 years old. We were at a spring training game in Sarasota, Florida. Chicago White Sox and Michael Jordan.
Ooh.
Taking on Jose Canseco and the Texas Rangers.
Wow.
And somebody at the national anthem said, Jose Canseco. And I thought
it's ruined you ever since.
I thought it was brilliant.
Oh,
I was like, this is brilliant.
I thought you were going to say it's ruined you.
6-year-old me was blown away.
Oh, yeah.
That's phenomenal wordplay.
That's so funny. But we do love our country, and we do love the flag. We do love our national anthem. But I like Canada.
Now you got me on the flag. Hold on.
No.
I'm joking.
We do have a cool flag.
Pretty cool.
I like our flag.
Pretty cool.
I like that. You know how many times I had to sit through, and I don't mean this bad, the national anthem when I worked in television, because I would go to so many high school or college events, and every time I would get there, it's like, please remove your caps for the national.
Why is it sports?
Oh boy, I don't know. Yeah, like why don't we do that for like a Chamber of Commerce meeting?
Yeah.
We just start playing the national anthem.
Sometimes you say Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, we do that at Rotary. Yeah. We do a Pledge of Allegiance at Rotary. I don't know. Why is it? I love it. Do you have any ritual with it?
I sway back and forth.
Okay.
Because that's what I did during football.
I like it.
I was so full of energy.
You know how people will touch their heart, point to the sky, kind of one of those deals. My brother-in-law, David, you know the story, he passed away, and he was a veteran. And so at the end of every one, I kind of give him this is to you.
Yeah.
Kind of one of those things.
That's what I do. I try to think of my friends that are in the military.
I do too. I do the same thing when the song is going on. I not only do I think of friends, but I also think of just everybody that's all of our servicemen and women that are risking their lives for us. So that's cool. That's cool we do that.
We're going to talk to an Illinois football player sometime around 5 o'clock. We'll also talk some Illinois football recruiting and training camp with Doug Bouchon, orangeandbluenews.com. And don't forget, at 5:45, we have Tay's Take. That's brought to you by DP Dough. Any random question you have for Lon Tay, you can tweet me at JWarnerScout, or you can text us on the Cheap Hour text line at 217-359-2255. That's 359-2255.
If my voice wasn't so beat up, I would promise that I would sing "O Canada." You and I would do a duet of "O Canada."
I realized when they played at the Blue Jays game, I'm not familiar with the lyrics.
No, I know the first part, and that's it. That's it. All right, we went through all the positional groups on Illinois football, and the bad news was the offensive line was last in Jeremy's mind.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about the offensive line.
It can vault up.
Yeah, I do think it can if Gabe Meganson can get going.
Okay.
I think the best five for me would be DeLauro at quick side tackle, Meganson at quick side guard. I'd love Nick Allegretti at center. Adam Solomon, to me, is a guard.
Okay.
He's a phenomenal run blocker. He's probably the best run blocker on the team.
Nice.
Doesn't have very good feet, though.
Okay.
So he struggles in pass protection, especially out on the edge, which he's playing tackle right now. So I'd like to move him inside.
Wouldn't that make sense if he's good at run block, then you'd make him a guard?
The problem is they need tackles.
Okay.
And that's why Gabe is the third tackle on this team outside of Larry Boyd and Christian DeLauro, because Gabe is the third best tackle.
Right.
Even though he struggles out there, he's, I think, serviceable, but I think he can be good and better at guard. There's just no depth. That is the concern. And I know Darte Lee was a loss for this team. He wasn't great.
No, but he was at least there.
Depth. Hojo Watkins was depth. Right. Jake Cerny and Kirk Gavin, I just don't see Big Ten offensive linemen out of those. Those guys are redshirt freshmen. Plus, they're really young.
Yes.
Jordan Fagan's had his opportunities. If he's your sixth or seventh guy, I think you have concerns there. Again, Solomon, I think a good run blocker, not good feet in the passing game. And I mean pretty poor. So that's where there's a big concern there.
Any other freshmen that would maybe?
Alex Palczewski has been impressive at times. He's an 18-year-old.
Right.
Just turned 18 this week. Right? And he's 290 pounds. He looks the part. I think he's going to be special.
Okay.
He's a freshman.
Yep.
Now, Larry Boyd has looked really good when he's been healthy, but he's been nicked up.
Yeah, he's been nicked up. How about Dallas Hinkhausler?
No longer here. No longer with us.
Wasn't he like a 180-pound offensive lineman? Wasn't he?
I think Harry was bigger than Dallas
Harry,
Hinkhausler.
I mean, he was like 180 pounds. He was like Lonte, maybe age 26.
I love how the name Dallas Hinkhausler has lived on the Tay and J Show.
Who was there's going to be a listener out there right now. Who was the quarterback / punter, and he had a similar name back in like the 80s? I want to ask our listeners.
Text it in at 359-2255.
Somebody's going to send it in, and I think he was a quarterback or a punter or something, or turned into a punter. I've got to know this because it sounds just like Dallas's name.
Okay.
Hinkhouse or whatever his name is. All right, so you talked about, and when I've been reading on IlliniInquirer.com, the freshmen, they are making an impact. Now, when you go into a season expecting, or not expecting, hoping that freshmen make that big of an impact to where you're going to hopefully win some games where you're in trouble. It's great if a freshman can make an impact. If you've got a 5-star guy and he can maybe make an impact.
Regis Ben,
that's correct. Otherwise, though, these freshmen are giving me some excitement to get to Memorial Stadium and watch and see these kids.
If you go to camp, the freshmen stick out.
Do they really?
Mean, there is just a length, athleticism, speed that this roster so sorely needs. But you go up and down the list of top players, and it feels like the freshmen are all in the top 50, which isn't a good thing for a team.
It's not.
In the Big Ten. But no, there are a lot of guys who are going to play this year. I do think it gives you some excitement to watch. I mentioned the running backs. I think both will likely play.
Okay.
I think they want to play a lot of running backs. I think it's going to be a running team. Mike Epstein has a burst. He's got versatility to his game. I think he could be really, really good right away.
Okay.
And Rayvon Bonner, more of a tough running back, more of a guy that in the third or fourth quarter is really going to make teams pay. He kind of reminds me a little of David Cobb in that way, the Minnesota running back. I don't know if he'll run for 1,500 yards in a season in his career.
Right, that'd be pretty impressive.
But he's got that kind of style to him. Wide receiver, I mean, Ricky Smalling's one of the top 4 wide receivers right away. Probably going to be a top 3 wide receiver on this team.
That's awesome.
He's going to be really good.
Okay.
And I think he's one of those guys, 4-star player. Yeah, you can count on an immediate impact from him. Kendall Smith has surprised me. It's 6'2", a little bit more built than I thought. Great hands.
Okay.
Pretty good athlete, competitive player.
How about Dorsey at tight end?
That's a kid where he looks like a basketball player. When he was a sophomore, he was getting football offers from LSU, some big time programs. Then he focused on basketball.
Wow.
He wanted to be a basketball player. He's 6'6", 210 pounds when he was a junior, and he got some mid-major looks. He went back to football, and Illinois was able to get him. He's raw.
Okay.
But he's 6'6", 220, and a really good athlete.
Got it.
To me, he's more of a split-out wide receiver at this point than a tight end, but I do think he's got a better frame than, say, Zarian Holcomb that I do think he'll fill out. I don't expect a lot out of him as a freshman.
Okay.
Because he's not going to be a strong blocker quite yet.
Yeah,
and
you're going to
gotta
need that.
You got to be a dynamic player, and I just don't know if they have those dynamic tight ends yet, but Dorsey has the potential to be that in the future.
If I made you throw $100 down right now and say this kid will be the best freshman when this season ends on Illinois, not freshman of the year in the Big Ten, who would be the one guy at the end of the year that you would say he's going to make what Mikey Dudek was a freshman All-American, right? So I'm not expecting that.
Dudek might have the best freshman season Illinois has ever had.
Ever. Especially in football, no doubt. But if the one kid that you think at the end of the year will say, that guy really made a contribution.
Can I whittle it down?
Yep.
Can I mention names that I think will definitely make an impact this year?
Give me the top 5.
Ricky Smalling. Okay. Larry Boyd. I think he's a starter.
Yes.
No doubt starter at tackle for me.
That's crazy.
I mean, he's just so strong and so quick.
Do you know how hard that is to be a starter on the line?
I was talking with Martin O'Donnell, former offensive lineman here at Illinois,
All-American.
4-year starter, right? And he took a redshirt year, I believe, and there were only a couple guys. I talked to Graham Posick about this as well. There's only been a couple guys that have started as true freshmen the last 5 or 6 years. Hugh Thornton and Jeff Allen, 2nd and 3rd round pick.
Unbelievable.
Boyd's got that potential.
He does.
Yeah, I mean, he's
awesome.
a special kind of player, a big-time recruit. Boyd would be very high up there. I think Roundtree will play, but not as impactful as those other guys. I think those corners.
Okay.
Tony Adams and Nate Hobbs are going to play a lot. They're both great athletes. They're both long. They're both physical. And Bennett Williams. I think the top 5 for me would be Epstein, or this would be a top 6.
Smalling, Epstein,
Boyd, Williams, Hobbs, and Adams. I think Carmine Green will play. I think he'll give you some speed. I think he could be a good returner. I just don't know if I expect him to be as good of a receiver as those other guys. Probably would be, I think those DBs can be really impactful.
But
for me, I think it's either Boyd or Small.
Okay. So you can see, as you look down the line, I'm talking a year or two down the line, you could see a Hobbs-Adams as your 2 top cornerbacks for the next 2-3 years.
I think next year they'll be your starters. I think Williams will be your starter.
How cool would that be?
Right? I think Smalling is a 4-year starter. I think Larry Boyd is a 4-year starter. I think Mike Epstein could be a very good player. That's what gets me excited.
Right.
But you need 2 more of these classes, if not 3 more of these classes, to be a competitive, rising Big Ten team, right?
I asked you after the news of the Avery kid that committed, and now we talked about how Scout has them pretty high. The class in general, although, I mean, a fair assessment of this class would be what? Top 50?
Yeah.
Maybe a 50, right around that area. What group are you looking at with this class coming in? What group are you looking at that needs the most help, you think? Now that you've seen training camp, is it offensive line?
The top needs?
Yeah.
Top needs for this 2018 class that remain. You need more quarterbacks.
Okay.
I think you need more players there. Karan Taylor, get him in here. I think you need another one as well. But Cam Thomas, Karan Taylor will give you a nice base. Offensive line, you need depth.
Right.
They have 3 offensive linemen right now. I think Jordan Slaughter out of Belleville. And I do think Kevin Myers out of Texas. I think those guys are going to be in your 2 deep right away.
Okay.
Julian Pearl is going to take more time to develop out of Danville. He might start off as a blocking tight end because he's pretty thin right now. He's more of a developmental prospect. You need 2 more offensive linemen in that class. Tight end.
Yes.
Need more dynamic players. Now,
well, I know one.
Daniel Barker's coming in out of Florida.
Okay.
And I think he adds some depth there. He adds another playmaker. Luke Ford would start from day one.
Man.
Now,
How nice would, I mean.
Can you get him? That's another question. Probably
Can
got
you imagine just shoring up that position for the next 3 years?
Probably got to show a lot more on the field.
Fair enough.
To get a kid like Luke Ford. And I do think you need more defensive backs.
Okay.
As excited as I am about Adams and Hobbs, and they have a couple DBs committed right now, I think Bennett Williams is good. Need more speed, need more length. You need depth across the board.
Yes.
I mean, wide receiver, they need much more depth. You're losing Malik Turner, Mike Dudek. How long will he be here?
Right.
You're not sure. They need many more receivers. I think they'll take probably 2 or 3 more in this class.
And there's a good one from Texas, right?
I mean, you have a guy like Bennett Williams come in.
Mm-hmm.
You have a guy like Bennett Williams come in, and he's pushing Stanley Green, who started last year.
That's what you need.
You need that across the board.
Wow.
You need guys to come in, and you need your backups to be able to be starters.
Exactly.
On your team.
Yep.
And they don't have that at a lot of positions, especially the offensive line.
359-2255 if you want to weigh in the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line or the Cheap Hour text line. Someone texted in on the Cheap Hour text line and said, are we starting to believe Lovey's staff is pretty good at prospect evaluation?
I think they're great at it.
Okay.
I think they're really good at it.
Palczewski is a perfect example.
Nate Hobbs is a perfect example. Palczewski, they saw video of him, got a senior year. He didn't play his junior year because of a neck injury. They saw his senior year film, got him on campus, offered him, and they set the tone. Right away, they found him. Nate Hobbs was committed to Western Kentucky and Jeff Brom.
That's right.
And they saw this kid, went down and evaluated him, loved him, got him.
Nice.
Isaiah Gay, a defensive end out of, I believe, North Carolina. This was after signing day. You were expecting that class to be done. This kid looks and plays, has a burst like Carroll Phillips.
Wow.
He's even shown it in practice already. He's skinny. He's 210 pounds right now.
Right.
But there is a burst there where he could be a really high ceiling player. They found him. He was talking to Elon, I think, was one of his other top schools. The electronic version of Lon.
Right, exactly.
Right? So that's really impressive to me.
That is.
Because obviously you need to be able to go get top kids like Calvin Avery, Kevin Myers, Kalen Tolson. You got to be able to win those battles, and they have to do better with some of those, especially in state.
But you've got to find some diamonds.
You got to find diamonds, but you also got to find guys who fit what you want.
Right, good call.
I think the last staff really struggled to find what they want in a prospect. They just got guys who were talented, could do that. Like, you need guys who fit your scheme, and Lovey's done that really, really well.
It's a tough battle to get football corrected.
It's going to take a long time.
Yes, it is.
I was talking to Stevie before. He goes, "How's my team look?" I'm like, And I told him, it goes, "What are your expectations going into this year? If you're a bolt or bust person,
then you're going to be
I think you're setting yourself up for a lot of disappointment. Doesn't mean it can't happen.
Right.
Because the schedule, if everything breaks your way, maybe that could happen.
Like Carp said, if you had this schedule next year, you'd be really excited.
Yeah, but if you're going in saying, let's be competitive, let's be more entertaining, and let's see some growth from young guys, I think you can be okay. And maybe it ends up being a 3-9 season again, but you're feeling a lot better, just like in 2006. That wasn't the same 2-10 season as the year before.
I'm just tired of these seasons.
Yeah, I get that. I get that one.
But I'm also patient. I get it with Lovey.
But, I mean, you're not going to be 8-4.
No, you're not. That's the problem.
You're not going to win a Big Ten title year 2 with one recruiting class from Lovey Smith.
I think you should. All right? I think you should.
That's, I mean, what lens are you viewing this season through? Now, maybe they can surprise us. Maybe they can surprise us, win 6 games.
Yes.
I think, is the ceiling that? Yeah.
I would love, like I said the other day.
If you have a quarterback that can make plays, you have an offensive line that exceeds my expectations, they stay healthy, Mikey Dudek's Mike Dudek again.
Yep.
Right? Malik Turner's Malik Turner, and Ricky Smalling and all those guys, Mike Epstein, make a huge impact. Defensive line matures a lot quicker than you thought.
And the linebackers are good enough that they help that defensive line.
And these freshman defensive backs
turn out to be just athletes.
Every year we do this with basketball.
We do.
And every year I say, that's a lot of ifs.
Yes.
It's a lot of ifs to go your way.
It is.
Now, every once in a while, that happened for Iowa, and they get 12-0.
Right.
Right? But I that's a lot of ifs stacked up against this team.
Just give me the last game against Northwestern for a chance at a bowl. That's what I want. I want 5 wins going into Northwestern. I mean, I'll take 8 wins, but I would love 5 wins going into that last game against Northwestern and a chance.
If this season, if they don't get to a bowl, is it a failure?
No, not at all. No, in fact, if they went 5-7 and gave me the opportunity to...
Okay, what if they were 3-8 and they beat Northwestern, they end the season 4-8? And they were like Ricky Smalling had a big year.
Oh, then that would be success to me. If I'm starting to see what the future is going to look like, and I want to see growth out of Chase Crouch.
I agree.
Because I have no idea who's going to be the quarterback next year either.
Right.
And it's probably going to be Chase.
I mean, if Lovey didn't name the starter, this might be a little bit more up in the air because it's not like Chase dominates out there. But in a game, he shows up a little bit. But that's my thing this year. It's going to be much more of an eye test.
Yes.
2018, make a bowl.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's not bowl or bust, and Lovey's gone. But that's the goal. You should really put up the expectations after this year. I think 2018, you should have higher expectations. Then you should have really high expectations for 2019. But for this year, I think it's more about the eye test. It's more about growth, and I know that can be frustrating.
This isn't fair to him, but there's one kid that I really expect to be big, and Illinois fans will be like, yep, I remember him, and that's Mikey Dudek. I think his presence on the field is going to be huge for this team. I still, even with 2 beat up, did he mess up the same knee twice?
Yeah.
I think even with
that's better. That's better than both.
No, right. I'd rather him. Here's to me. Okay, let me preface this by saying he's healthy all year. I think Mikey Dudek, at the end of the year, you'll be like, man, I forgot how good he was. I think he just has that ability to find open spots in the field. Now, can Chase Crouch hit him? That will be a big story. I think Wes Lunt had that ability. Can Chase do that?
I think Mikey himself on the field for a full 12, he adds a win to your team.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Right?
I agree. Because I think at the end of the year,
a much better chance. I mean, there were a couple games you were close last year, you just couldn't score.
And man, if you throw it within 3 feet of him, he seems like he catches it. Even high, he goes up and gets it. All right, Chris from Homer Glen, I appreciate this, and also Russ from Wheaton. Both sent in the answer I was looking for. Brian Minkhausen. I mean, that doesn't sound like what was his name? Dallas
Hinkhouse.
Well, it does kind of sound like it. Brian Minkhausen. If you ever get like older guys like my age or even a little bit older, if you ever get them really toasty on a tailgate Saturday, bring up Brian Minkhausen. Oh man, there's some great stories.
Because he was quarterback/punter?
I think he ended up being a punter. Yeah, he was the backup quarterback punter.
Didn't Ryan Langford punt a couple times?
Yes, he did.
And Ryan Langford, a star returner in the Canadian Football League.
Oh, is he now? How about that? Starring for the Winnipeg Jets? Maybe not.
I think it's Toronto.
Okay, the Argonauts?
Yeah.
Why do I know so much about the CFL? That's a dangerous thing.
Rough Riders, right? They're all the Rough Riders.
Right, that's Ottawa, I think. All right, 217-359-2255. If you'd like to weigh in, 359-2255. It's the Tay and J Show.
An ESPN Radio Mike and Mike Extra Point.
The New York Football Jets, as the season gets set to begin, to say they have very little talent on the offensive side of the ball would be a very kind way of putting it. Quincy Enunwa was pretty much their only receiver, the only one of any accomplishment whatsoever on their team, and sort of an emerging good player. He's gone on IR with a neck injury. He is not going to play the entire season. I'm speechless. Mike, I actually looked it up last night. The record for fewest points scored by a team in a 16-game season is 140, set by the Seahawks in 1992. I genuinely believe that record is in jeopardy of falling this year. How are the Jets going to score points?
I don't know. He's the only Jets receiver on the roster.
Stop there. Stop. You can end the sentence right there.
With 1,000.
You don't even need to qualify it. He was the only Jets receiver on the roster.
Hear more from Mike and Mike tomorrow morning on ESPN Radio. At the Home Depot, free carpet installation means free carpet installation. And free includes clearing out furniture, ripping out old carpet, hauling it away, even carpeting stairs, with no hidden fees. Free installation on carpet $699 or more means free installation. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid on carpet priced $1 or more per square foot. Specialty items may be priced separately.
The key to success? Keep it simple, especially when it comes to hiring. And nobody makes it easier than Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Manage your candidates from one dashboard. According to an independent study, 5 times more hires are made through Indeed than any other job site. New users claim your $50 credit to post a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Going on 5 years, Rock's Place in St. Joseph has become the neighborhood sports bar and grill for a lot of folks in the area. Rock's Place is known for their delicious burgers, and they also have great daily food and drink specials. Plus, Rock's has plenty of TVs, so you can keep tabs on the Cubs and Cardinals all summer long. And while you're there, press your luck on one of Melody Music's video gaming machines. For delicious food, cold drinks, and good company, make it Rock's Place, 101 North Main Street in St. Joseph. Find them on Facebook, ROCHS in St. Joseph.
At Jet's Pizza Champaign, we start fresh every day with the freshest ingredients. We hand make the dough, cut the vegetables, and grate the finest all-natural mozzarella cheese. Anything else wouldn't be better pizza. Order our best of Jet's, a one-topping large pizza for just $11.99, and let your taste buds scream.
Let's get Jets. You've heard me doing my hobby. Roll 'em up! Warner Wrap, go! I also have a real job as co-owner of 2 insurance agencies with more than 50 years of service to Central Illinois. Hey, it's Lon Tay, and I'm excited to do business with you. For a free business, auto, home, or life insurance quote, call me at 832-2411. Partnering with Pekin Insurance, you're guaranteed to receive a competitive quote. Going beyond the expected with Pekin Insurance and the Hillard Agency. Call 832-2411.
Hey, it's me, your old AC. We need to talk, man. I am out of hair. Trust me, it's not going to get much better. I need to be replaced. Call the experts and get a new air conditioner that will save up to 50% on energy bills. Go ahead, do it. I'll be right here. Whew.
At Chief Bauer Service Experts, save up to $3,100 on a new home comfort system. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefbauer.com. For expert service guaranteed.
Call 866-EXPERTS.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkland with the 430 Sports Center update presented by State Farm agent John Kaywood. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think their car insurance costs more, but with discounts up to 40%, you may find it even costs less. Call State Farm agent John Kaywood in Champaign, Illinois at 217-367-1105 today. The bullpen did not blow it for the Chicago Cubs. Yes, the Cubs won against the Giants last night. 5-3, Javier Baez hit a 2-run inside the park home run. Anthony Rizzo was 3 for 5 with a run batted in. The Cubs moved to 59-52 and are now a game and a half over the Brewers, who fell to the Twins last night. The Cubs and Giants play tonight. It's Jose Quintana taking on Ty Block. Game time is 9:15 and on US 105.9. The Cards and Royals played their Show Me State cross-state battle last night. The Cards got the upper hand in Game 1, 11-3. There was a trio of homers by the Birds in Carpenter, Wong, and DeYoung. Martinez pitches ace-quality material, hurling 8 innings of 7-hit, 2-earned-run ball with 7 Ks and no walks. The Cardinals are now 3.5 back of the Cubs in the NL Central. Game time's at 7:15 tonight for Royals and Cardinals. Listen here on ESPN CU 93.5. The White Sox take on the 71-40 Astros tonight from Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. It's Derek Holland for the home team taking on the 2015 AL Cy Young winner, Dallas Keuchel, who has a 2.15 ERA and a whip of 1 and a 7.96 K per 9. Ronaldo Lopez has been called up from AAA Charlotte. He has a 3.79 ERA and a 1.24 whip. And Mike Pelfrey will go to the bullpen. And Eddie Olczyk has been diagnosed with cancer, the color commentator for the Chicago Blackhawks. So prayers up for him.
Absolutely on that. Thank you, Austin. Saving is the step to building a stronger future. Whether establishing a college fund, saving for retirement, or building an emergency fund, Busey encourages you to begin your path to savings today. Start by creating a budget. Track your spending with an online budgeting system. Finance Works or Busey eBank categorizes your spending. I'd hate to see that. It might just be entertainment, and then over here to the right side it'd be like a water bill. That's about what it would be. All right, determine your income. Take home pay, investment income, and other sources, and set realistic financial goals for yourself. Then save. Busey eBank. Control and monitor finances online. Busey has so many different things that can help you save and create a budget for the future. Get started on your goals today with the innovative products and services at Busey. Visit Busey.com for more resources or stop by one of the many convenient locations today. Busey, member FDIC.
Christian DeLauro will be calling in, Illinois redshirt senior offensive lineman. One of the strengths of that offensive line. I've been talking about it today. I'm a little worried about it. We'll talk to Christian about that. Also, he's engaged, so he's going to get married here.
Is he really?
Yeah.
He and Dre Brown both engaged.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go.
What's wrong with these kids?
They got a club or something?
No.
Get together?
I don't mean what's wrong. I think that's fantastic.
We're also going to talk with Doug Bouchon, orangeandbluenews.com. We'll talk to him about the Calvin Avery commitment and what he's seen in training camp so far.
Okay.
But one of the surprises of training camp so far, as we've been talking about, is a defensive back, safety Bennett Williams, who right now is repping with the first team. This is the first California kid to commit to Hardy Nickerson at Illinois. His dad, Gary, played with Hardy.
Got it.
At the University of Cal, and they weren't happy that Cal did not recruit him.
That is interesting.
But Bennett Williams has looked really good so far. Rangy, really intelligent, has a nose for the ball, had a bunch of interceptions in high school. But I caught up with Bennett Williams last week, and here's a little bit of that. Jeremy Warner, Illini Inquirer, here with Illini safety Bennett Williams, all the way from California. How's it feel to be the first California kid that Hardy Nickerson recruited?
I mean, it's awesome. Definitely different. I mean, it's great for the Fighting Illini to get a good group of diverse people from different areas of the country. And so California, I'm excited to start the pipeline and get some more recruits from out there to come here so we can strengthen our team and get rolling. Absolutely.
I know your dad played with him. How many Hardy Nickerson stories did you hear growing up?
Oh, I've heard all of them from the nicknames.
What's the best one?
Best Hardy Nickerson story. He was telling about when Hardy jumped over, like my dad made a nice block or a hit on a blocker, and Hardy jumped over the top, kind of got the tackle, and he got all the credit on SportsCenter or whatever afterwards. And so that's a good story. But there's plenty that he's been telling me. So
why was Illinois the place you wanted to be?
Say it again, sorry.
Why was Illinois the place you wanted to be?
It was the perfect fit for me, honestly. I mean, it's obviously very far away from here. Or from where I live, and very different. But the football program combined with the great coaching staff and just the whole feel that we're coming up and getting ready to take off is awesome. So I was definitely excited to be a part of that.
What's the biggest change coming to Illinois, and what is the biggest thing you miss from California?
I'd have to say the weather. Even though it's summer right now, I'm getting ready for that winter weather. I know it's going to be tough. I got to adjust to that, but. The biggest change, I think, is just this freshman class coming in, and all the facilities are getting redone, and there's just a different excitement around this class and this season, and I really think we're coming. If not this season, then in the ones right after, I think it's going to be. You provide some versatility on this team, right? You've played corner, you've played safety. I mean, what do you see as your role, and what will be your role going forward? I mean, I'm here to do whatever it takes to get on the field and help the team the best possible. I personally think safety is my the best position for me, probably free safety, being able to be rangy and go make plays on the ball back there. I think that's my best position, but special teams, maybe some offense, whatever I need to do to help the team, I'll do.
You have some big goals after football, right? I mean, tell people what you want to do after football.
I mean, after football, I definitely see myself, helping. I want to help, kids. First of all, that's my main thing. But also, I'm planning on doing engineering, and I think I'm going to do sustainability engineering and help with clean energy. I think we need to, kind of reverse the effects of global warming and get our world on the right track again. Just all around. I think that's a huge thing for me.
That's Bennett Williams. And Lon, you just said what?
There's no way that kid's a freshman.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's 40 years old, not his voice.
Would it shock you if I said he had Ivy Leagues all over him?
No. Not one bit.
And he's a pretty good football player.
And I don't – the thing I mean about this, when you hear
I think it was down to Illinois and Yale.
Wow.
At the end.
When you hear a freshman do interviews, rarely do you hear one not say I still say
Yeah.
And you hear this kid, and it sounds like a senior. Like he's been doing this for 4 years.
He's going to be a go-to guy for me.
Man, no doubt. You think so?
Nate Chillhouse kind of had that special quality to him, but he's got that.
He just sounds like a bright kid.
But he also looks pretty good on the field.
Yep. And you know what's great
rangy,
about that?
He's physical. And he wants to save the world too, like he's talking about. Literally, he wants to save the world.
Save Illinois' football program. And if you can do that, you've got a shot at saving the world. Listen, I mean, as a safety, that's that last guy back there. You've got to have somebody that understands what is going on all over that field.
And that's where Stanley Green could hit people, come up and hit people. I don't know if they trust him back there.
That's fair enough.
To cover everybody and to make the right decisions. Bennett has come in here and just made the right decisions. If he screws up one day, he kind of makes the right decisions the next day.
That's incredible. Well, listen, I mean, we're talking about, I told you at the start of the show, keep me optimistic. Yeah. I don't want to be negative yet about Illinois football. Listening to that kid and understanding that is a safety and that kind of brain power, essentially, of understanding the game, that keeps me optimistic.
I also caught up with Donnie Abraham, who coaches the safeties, played under Lovie Smith, had a Pro Bowl season with the Tampa Bay Bucks, a heck of a career. I saw a list from, I think it was pewterreport.com, which is a big Bucks site, and they ranked him the 15th best Buck of all time.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so Donnie Abraham was a pretty good player. He came here in the spring. It was like the 5th practice. He showed up, or 3rd or 4th practice.
Welcome.
He showed up, so it's been kind of a whirlwind. But here's my conversation with Donnie Abraham.
Well, Donnie, now you're kind of in the fall. You feeling like you're more of a part of this? The spring had to be kind of a whirlwind.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel a part of it now, getting used to the system and everything and how things are ran here as far as practices and all of that. The spring was a whirlwind. I got in and literally hit the ground, and we were in spring practice, so everything went so fast. So now, got a chance for everything to slow down a little bit. Now we're in camp, so we got a lot of time to get prepared.
You played in this defense. What's it like to teach it? I mean, how is it different for you?
Well, I played in this defense about 15, 20 years ago. I'm telling my age now, but it has evolved over the years. Coach Smith has taken this defense around with him, from the Rams to the Bears, back to the Bucks. So it's kind of evolved since I played in the system. But it's good to be familiar with a lot of the terminology in it. And it's a little different teaching it, as a player, you know all the ins and outs about it, and now you got to teach somebody else those ins and outs and hope they have the same feeling you have.
Yeah. So what are the hallmarks of this defense? Maybe what has changed of it, but what are the hallmarks that have stayed there?
Well, the basics are still the same. I mean, it's flying around to the football. It's all about alignment. It's technique, key assignment, and finish, and that's the basis of it. That's what it's all about. It's one gap football. You got to be where you're supposed to be, and if you're not where you're supposed to be, then that's when the potential you get gashed a little bit. But it is on everybody. It's on every player. It's on every coach to make this defense work. And if we can get that, it's a great defense if we can get it all together.
Overall, what do you think of your safety group? I know you had 2 guys who were freshmen last year that played well, but you got kind of an infusion of talent there too.
Yes, we got some new talent that came in. We got some of the old guys there. Pat Nelson, Stanley Green there, Julian Hilton, and then we got a mix of new kids that came in, and we got a good group. We just got to keep working every day to get better. We definitely got to improve from last year from that group, and we're going to work every day and get better.
What has Bennett Williams brought to this group?
Bennett has brought a lot to this group so far. I mean, he's getting a lot of first-team reps right now, and that's an attribute to him because he came in. He's a smart kid. He's physically ready, and we're going to try to get him as prepared as we can. But he's picking up on the defense very well, and that's allowing him to play fast and physical when he's out there.
What about his skill set, his tools, makes him a good fit for free safety?
Well, he's a smart guy. We like to say high football IQ. So and that's what he has. He understands the defense. What he don't understand, he figures out really quickly. And the next day he has it. And he's a student of the game. He loves the game. And those are intangibles that you can't teach. You either have those or you don't, and he definitely has them.
So what's this mean for Stanley, and what do you see out of Patrick Nelson so far?
Well, I think it means that we have a good competitive group. And every day in practice, when you can be competitive, everybody wins. Everybody gets better. And that's what it means. And that's what we want the young guys to come in and do. We want the young guys to come in and fight for a starting position, and we want the older guys to fight to keep that position. And if we can do that, we'll be better as a unit.
Takeaway is the big thing. How do you teach that? How do you teach these guys to get more takeaways?
Well, some guys have a knack for it. But this defense is predicated upon, takeaways, and that's what we got to have. And we just got to get them excited about it. When there's a takeaway, you see right now the whole defense is rallying around that individual, and then we're just getting them excited. The excitement brings more. So when you start getting takeaways, then you should feed in it. I want more, I want more, I want more, and that's what we got to do, and that's what we're starting to do as a defense.
That's Illinois safeties coach Donnie Abraham, and he's talking about that excitement. This defense has a little swagger. They're winning camp right now. Which defense usually tends to be a little there earlier than offense, especially for a young team. But there is a juice about them. The offense, you're still kind of waiting for it. Right. Chase is trying to give it to him, especially when they have some nice plays. Chase Crouch will do that, so you like that the quarterback can do that. But right now, this defense seems to be getting the takeaway message. They're starting to do it a lot more, which is a bad thing for the offensive side of the football, doubt. But it is encouraging for the defensive side.
I like the swagger. And I know this, and I always hearken on this. When Illinois has had good football teams, they've had good safeties. And the thought of a kid like that, a Bennett Williams being a freshman, and even these other two freshmen that could be cornerbacks of the future with Adams and Hobbs, that gets me excited to know that back end of that defense for the next 2 or 3 years, 4 years, could be really good.
Yeah, and Patrick Nelson just a sophomore.
And Patrick Nelson, right.
What I like about Williams, he complements Nelson.
Okay.
Stanley Green and Nelson kind of similar, only Nelson's bigger.
Yes.
A lot bigger. But they're both kind of strong safeties. Bennett Williams, much more free safety.
You're starting to see in the NFL, you've seen it with a few people. Arizona, of course, has it with Dayon Buchanan. Would Patrick Nelson ever be a guy that they would shift up to linebacker?
Not in this defense.
Not in this defense.
No.
Okay.
I mean, you'll go 8 in the box a lot in the Big Ten West,
Gotcha.
right? You need a guy like Patrick Nelson to do that.
Good call.
Coming up next, Christian DeLauro, Illinois senior offensive lineman, will be calling.
I'll try to say his name right, and not DeLorio. It's the Tay and J Show.
Baxter's Grill in Champaign serves up classic American cuisine made with the freshest ingredients. And now, all summer long, you can enjoy Baxter's delicious food and ice-cold drinks outside in their spacious outdoor bar and patio. In addition to their signature appetizers and entrees, Baxter's has happy hour specials 6 days a week, including half-price bottles of wine on Tuesdays and $2 Coronas and $4 margaritas on Thursdays, along with live music on Thursdays and Saturdays. Baxter's American Grill, 100 Trade Center Drive in Champaign.
It's Lon Tay from ESPN 93.5, and whenever I need work done on my car, I go to Long's Garage. No, not Lon's Garage, Long's Garage in Urbana on Main Street, just east of Schnucks. From engines and brakes to new tires, you can get a variety of auto maintenance assistance from the experts at Long's Garage Complete Auto Service. And this summer, beat the heat and come into Long's Garage for an AC check. Since 1941, Long's Garage has offered expert repair services. Visit them today at 503 East Main Street in Urbana, just east of Schnucks.
Hey, what are you doing on August 25th and 26th?
I don't know. Why?
Well, I'm on the Urbana Sweet Corn Festival website, and I saw some awesome volunteer opportunities.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you can volunteer at their corn eating contest, cornhole games, beer tent.
Oh, let me see. These opportunities look awesome. Click on that. What's the entertainment for this year?
The Maze Stage lineup covers an array of classic rock, rhythm and blues, and jazz by some awesome local bands.
Wait, Candy Foster's playing? And Love Sign, ESP, Andy Moe, Kings Highway, The Boat Drunks, tons of fun band, and a performance for Elnora, the Guitar Festival at Cranor?
And there's even more stages. The One Community Together, Fulton Roots, and wow, the downtown bars have live music too.
That's 2 days of music we cannot miss.
Oh, look, we can bring the kids too. There's a puzzle hunt by CU Adventures, didgeridoo making, inflatables, and the Motor Muster Car Show.
You can take the kids, but I'm all over that $6 souvenir cup that can be filled at any downtown bar or festival beer stand.
Well, since it's a 2-day festival, I'm sure we can do it all.
Sponsored in part by the Urbana Business Association, City of Urbana, Bud Light, and this station. For more information, visit UrbanaSweetCornFestival.com.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, Jay, did I miss out? Have the rates gone up? The answer is no. Rates are still low, and it's a perfect time to refinance your home, especially if your mortgage rate is higher than 4.25%. If you'd like to lower your interest rate and save thousands of dollars in interest without starting over on a new 30-year loan, a Quicken Loans Yorgage is what you're looking for. With our exclusive Yorgage, you can choose a term that works best for you, anywhere from 8 to 30 years. The rate today on an 8-year Yorgage is 3.25%. APR 3.75%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 3rd year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
Need an oil change? See your Champaign CarX man. Right now at CarX Tire and Auto, get a full-service oil change starting at $24.99 with tire rotation and brake inspection. From oil changes to engine repair and everything in between, CarX Tire and Auto has been serving Champaign for almost 40 years with 3 convenient locations. Your Champaign CarX man has the right oil for your vehicle at a great price, $24.99. Stop in, call, or schedule online at CarX.com.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday morning 7 to 9, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
It is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lon Tay, Jeremy Werner. We've got Doug Bouchon, orangeandbluenews.com, joining us next hour as we continue to talk a lot of Illini football. Jeremy, you broke down your positional groups from 1 to, best to worst. Mm-hmm. We established that. So a lot of Illini football talk. We just heard from Donnie Abraham, of course, the safeties coach, and Bennett Williams. That's right, the young freshman. He's so young, I don't even know his name yet. There's another kid on this team that I know his name.
Yeah.
And I've met him once, but I never say his last name correctly. And it's the kid that's going to join us right now on the Jupiters of the Crossing phone line, and that's Christian DeLoro.
You said it right.
All right. Christian, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. How you guys?
How many people say DeLorio?
Too many. I've had a lot of different variations of my last name, though.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one because I can't get rid of the I.
What's the worst rendition of your last name?
There's people who, it really just gets to the point where people just start adding vowels that aren't there. But, everybody's got their own way of saying it. I just kind of, unless they completely butcher it, I just don't correct them anymore.
Good call. That's a good call.
Well, Christian, before we get into the nitty-gritty about training camp, which I'm sure you love so much, we have a former teammate of yours, Harry Black.
Oh, yeah.
Former walk-on. We got his jersey hanging up in our studio. Can you give us a scouting report of Harry Black?
He's a long physical specimen. Knows how to get low and pass pro and run blocking. And I'm pretty sure Tom Bratton was his favorite offensive line coach.
Yes! That was perfect.
Speaking of that, Christian, how many offensive line coaches have you had?
I've had 5 or 6, with 2 of them being twice. So started with Buckis, had Bridge for a while, then I went to Ricker, then Bratton, back to Ricker, and back to Buckis. So.
Unbelievable.
I don't think there's ever been anything like that.
No.
What's Buckis like the second time around?
Well, the first time I really only had him for the recruiting process, and I heard a lot of nightmare stories about how he was. He was very energetic. He still kind of is that way now, but his time away kind of, brought him down a little bit, and he's, I want to say a little more understanding, but he's I feel like he's a better coach and being able with football IQ and everything now.
He had kids. He had to settle down.
Well, Christian, you got a young group around you, and you lost a couple young guys in the offseason due to off-the-field stuff. What's your approach as a veteran of this group who's started more games than I think anybody on this team?
Right.
What is your approach entering your senior year?
For me, it's just making sure the young guys know, hey, you're going to mess up at times. It's, moving on to the next play and making up for it when you can. Not everything's going to be perfect. We preach as close to perfection as we can around here with everything we do. But, nobody's going to be, you're not going to do everything perfectly. You got to get the job done at the end of the day. If you screw up, just move on.
You had Westlunt last year, more of a drop-back passer. Now you've got Chase Crouch, it looks like, as a guy that can get out and run. How much different to the layman person is that with regards to blocking on an offensive line?
Coach Buckers, he preaches to us, just keep your body between the defender and the quarterback. So, it's nice having a running quarterback at times. Or, if I make a defensive end run upfield a little bit more, and Chase has that ability to kind of step up and leak out if he has a lane. But at the end of the day, it's pretty much the same. Opens up our playbook a little bit more too.
Sure.
But for the most part, it's not much different.
Christian, I tell people, Christian Deloro and Nick Allegretti, I think you're going to like them. I think those guys are, you know what you're going to get out of them. They're consistent. They're veterans. They can, guys who can be in contention for all Big Ten. Gabe Megginson is a highly touted recruit. I'm sure you're asked about him a lot, but you've been a redshirt freshman that goes to a redshirt sophomore. What's the key for Gabe to live up to his potential and be the guy you need in this season?
Really just focusing on the small things. Last year's kind of his first exposure.
Yeah.
It usually isn't always the prettiest when you first get out there on the field, but, he's got that experience, so the game's going to be a little bit slower for him, and it's kind of just focusing on the details and taking every play one by one.
You also have a couple freshmen that look the part.
Yes.
Larry Boyd. Initial impressions of Larry Boyd so far. I'll just leave it at that.
He's big. That's really... He's big, and he moves well for as big as he is. We worked with him all summer, and it was kind of nice getting out here to see him just be able to play football. You get in your head a little bit when you're out there. You're trying to focus on details and, technique and stuff. So when he got out here and played football, he really kind of impressed everybody, the way he was able to move and the things he was able to do.
How about Alex Balchewski? What do you see out of him?
I'm playing right next to him right now, and he's a smart kid. He knows a majority of the plays. There's a couple of times that he'll get confused, and that's why he's out there next to me at times to kind of help him when things get a little blurred for him. But he's a physical kid. He goes to work every day.
Christian, you're going to have some guys behind you in that running back position that last year Kendrick Foster and Reggie Corbin showed you some stuff. You got some freshmen coming in. You excited to be blocking for this group?
Yeah, those guys. A lot of the plays we had that busted off last year, it was, the offensive line helped them a little bit, but for the most part, it was them making guys miss. Reggie's he's a shifty person. He makes a lot of guys miss. Kendrick's got some speed, and he's got that. He's working on that shiftiness he's got this year. He showed a little bit in camp right now. Freshman backs we have, they're slowly but surely they're getting the hang of it, but they got some speed, and it's nice to see.
Christian, I got some concerns about the offensive line and the depth and the young guys around you. What do you guys have to do to be successful this year? This Illinois offense, but you guys specifically as the offensive line.
We preach being consistently good, and that's really what it comes down to. A lot of things, everything's not going to go our way all the time. And like I was saying earlier, it's really just knowing that, if you mess up, make up for it on the next play and keep going from there. We have a young team, and they got a lot. It's a whole different ball game from high school to college. Faster people, bigger, faster, and stronger. So once they get a feel for the game, and camp will help them as well. But at the end of the day, it's just knowing that it's not going to be perfect all the time.
Sure.
But you got to get the job done the best that you can.
Christian, you're part of a minority on that team, and that's seniors.
No doubt.
There's 8 of you guys,
wow.
And for a lot of people, including myself, it's this is a build year, whatever
right.
it is. But you don't want to hear that. I mean, you're a senior. What do you think this team's capable of?
Like you said, nobody wants to hear, this is your 5th year is going to be a build year. But the nice thing is we brought a lot of playmakers in. This team has. I feel like we're loaded to make things happen this year. It's just finding the people that are going to be consistent about what they're about getting their job done and moving on from that.
Has Blake Hayes taught you how to play Australian rules football yet?
No, actually, the only thing I've ever seen or heard about Australian football really is that he has a ball in his locker. I didn't know that was a thing until we brought him here. And even then, I didn't know that he played that. I figured he was like a soccer player or something.
How often do you guys talk to specialists?
Yeah.
Well, specialists, they're not really our favorite people during camp. They get to kind of go out.
Yes.
They're on the opposite field all the way across from us, and they're just kind of out there just snapping and kicking. And, you know, when I'm banging my body against other people all day, it's kind of, I kind of want to be in their shoes every now and then.
No doubt.
We don't really associate with the specialists that much during the camp.
I'm shocked that you knew who it was I was talking about, to be honest with you.
Christian, before we let you go, I know you got to sit out a couple of days of practice.
Yes.
You're nicked up a little bit. How are you health-wise? I know you've dealt with some issues in the past, but how are you health-wise? How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm good. You know, yeah, I've been a little beat up, and that's part of football. So, you know, nobody's going to be 100% healthy out here, especially going week 2 of camp. It's kind of just being able to get through it the best that you can and staying as healthy as possible.
Christian DeLauro, buddy, we appreciate your time, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Christian DeLauro, that's 3 times I've said it correct.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man.
That is pretty solid for me.
Christian's a fun guy to talk to.
He sounds like it, and I thought that was a good question because, sure, as a senior, you don't want to be known as we're rebuilding or a build year. I'm sure he has dreams of a bowl game.
Hey, so. I didn't think the 2015 team was going to make a bowl game.
You never know.
Those seniors left with a little bit of something.
You never know. All right, next hour, Doug Bouchon, orangeandbluenews.com. We've got Drive Time and Tay's Take. Got a lot to do. It's the Tay and J Show.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
I'm Jane Metzler, Fox News.
I am a lineman for the county.
Wichita lineman, just one of his number 1 hits. Glenn Campbell has died in Nashville at the age of 81. Fox's Michelle Polino has more live.
Jane, Glenn Campbell had a string of hits in the 60s and 70s with over 70 albums.
Like a rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse and a stone.
Now, Dolly Parton says Campbell was special because he was so gifted.
Glenn is one of the greatest voices that ever was in the business, and he was one of the greatest musicians. He was a wonderful session musician.
He made history in 1967 by winning 4 Grammys in the country and pop categories. The 2014 doc, I'll Be Me, detailed Glenn's farewell tour and struggle with his Alzheimer's diagnosis. The family is asking for privacy at this time. In lieu of flowers, they say donations can be made to the Glenn Campbell Memorial Fund at Bright Focus Foundation. Jane?
Thanks, Michelle. More concern about North Korea and its nuclear capabilities.
Intelligence agency analysis, the Washington Post reports North Korea has miniaturized a nuclear warhead small enough to put inside a missile. U.S. intelligence also estimates, the Post reports, North Korea has up to 60 nuclear weapons, more than double earlier assessments.
Fox's Jared Halpern. President Trump warning North Korean leader Kim Jong-un against making any more threats against the U.S.
They will be met with fire, fury, and frankly power, the likes of which this world has never seen before.
The North Korean threat and President Trump's warning rattling investors. The Dow down 33 points. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Home isn't just a place. It's a feeling that you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, we help keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling for less than $1 a day. ADT. Home. Safe home.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Think you can't manage the down payment it takes to purchase a new home? Think again. You could move into a $150,000 home with as little as $1,500 down with our 1% down payment option. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%, APR 4.19%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Leaders and a growing list of foreign governments, including the U.S., fail to recognize it. But Venezuela's new constitutional assembly has passed a decree declaring itself superior to all other branches of government there. Some wealthy San Francisco residents furious somebody bought their street.
The Presidio Terrace has multi-million-dollar homes. Senator Dianne Feinstein and Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi have lived there. But the residents there didn't pay the property tax on the common area spaces like the street and gardens, so it went up for auction a couple of years ago. Now it's owned by Tina Lam and her husband Michael Chang, and they got it for just $90,000. Tina spoke to Fox affiliate KTVU.
I'm a first-generation immigrant, so I just want to feel like that I have a place in the city of San Francisco.
She said she doesn't have a plan to make money off it. The homeowners have scheduled a hearing with the Board of Supervisors in October to rescind the sale. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Spoiler alert, coming soon to HBO.
The Hollywood hackers harassing HBO are holding some of the network's biggest shows hostage. Spelling out their demands in a ransom note, the hackers say HBO has to pay them about $6 million in Bitcoin if they want to stop the leaks. If HBO doesn't pay up, Game of Thrones fans are in for a lot of spoilers this season. This time, hackers published a preview of the Game of Thrones episode airing this weekend, and one leaked document reportedly includes a list of phone numbers for the entire Season 7 Game of Thrones cast.
Fox's Hillary Vaughn. Fans at the federal courthouse in Denver, Colorado showing support for Taylor Swift.
It's so important for fans to know that if she can do this, then they can do this too.
A fired former DJ who filed a civil suit against Swift testifying today. He may have touched her rib cage, but never touched her rear end. She's countersuing. I'm Jane Metzler, Fox News Radio.
It's correct. That's the correct answer. That's being an adult.
Well, it's owning a business.
Yeah,
right. Some people don't got to worry about that.
You're right. They can just do what they want to do.
Anyway.
Social media.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer.
I'm eating a sucker right now, and I brought you one.
Is that bringing a fury to your mouth?
Yeah.
You got to look this up, what I'm referring to today.
Bringing a fury to
yeah.
Do I Google that?
Like you've never seen before.
Oh, boy. All right, I'm going to Google it.
Tonight, clear, low of 57. Wednesday, sunny, clear, high 82, low of 59. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 83, low of 65. Right now, sunny, 82. I never said the liner, so I better do that right now. This weather was brought to you by Chief Bauer Service Experts. If you need help staying comfortable all year long, whether it's heating or cooling, call 866-EXPERTS.
Look at that.
Or visit them at chiefbauer.com.
What an expert. It's time to drive.
It is Drive Time, presented by Honda BMW of Champaign. For new and used vehicles, visit their huge inventory at the corner of Neal and Burwash and Savoy, or visit them online at HondaBMWChampaign.com. Well, I'll tell you, this is where we recap the first 2 hours of the Tay and J Show.
Well, Jeremy Warner, the Cardinals figured out how to score runs. All of a sudden, they've gone crazy. 14 on Sunday, 11 yesterday, a nice one over the Royals. Is it going to continue? No. But it's been fun for 2 days.
Debbie Downer?
I'm definitely Debbie Downer.
Ever seen that SNL episode?
Yes.
Or skit?
Yes.
Lon's the one looking at the camera with the sourpuss face.
Lon's being a realist now.
Hey, you're back to 500.
We are.
For the first time since early June.
That does feel good.
It does.
It does feel good.
And you wonder what that does to the Cardinals' psyche.
That's
just to see that in the standings. You're just 3.5 behind the Cubs.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Nope.
I don't think this team has the offense, the defense, the base running to catch up. What you do have is the pitching.
No doubt.
And you mentioned Carlos Martinez. You want to see that ace performance. He didn't need it last night, but he gave it to you.
He gave it to you.
And you needed that kind of performance, and now you got to you got to make a run here.
Mm-hmm.
Is this team capable of a sustained run of winning 16 of the next 20?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think the offense is there, but that's what it's going to take to catch up to the Cubs.
Right.
Who, despite their flaws, I mean, you got guys like Contreras, Baez playing like they are.
My goodness.
Their starting pitching is really starting to settle in a little bit, especially the top of it. Got Jose Quintana going tonight. I think that's going to take too much for the Cardinals to catch up, but I do think the Cardinals can be competitive and make it interesting.
I was impressed with the Cubs going out last night, starting that road game or that West Coast road swing after a tough homestand. I was impressed. They went out, they got on top early, jumped on the Giants. Not a very good team, we know that, but it's still not easy to go to the West Coast and win games. So I was impressed with Chicago doing that. The thing about the Cardinals, it feels like with Piscotty being sent down, with Grichuk basically coming off the bench, basically you're starting to feel like we're going to ride the hot hand. Tommy Pham is our team MVP. He's going to play. You got Dexter Fowler back. You got Colton Wong back. Those two immediately made impacts yesterday. And then you've got a guy like Jose Martinez in right field that is a free swinger, but man, has he been good. And you've got to ride that with him.
I didn't realize this. I just looked up the standings. The White Sox right now have the number 2 pick in the draft.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah!
Who's number 1?
The Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, okay.
Poor Megan Montemurro.
I know.
40 and 69.
Wow.
The Giants are now 44 and 70. So the White Sox at now 41 and 68.
Look at you.
They're on a 6-game losing streak.
Look at you.
Feeling great. We get the number 2 pick in the draft right now.
And you're only, a game behind Philly for the number 1 pick?
Yeah, just a game behind Philly for the number 1 pick. It's all happening.
Everything is coming up roses right now.
And now it actually happened. I said it last week, misread a tweet. We talked about it for 10 minutes.
Right.
But Ronaldo Lopez actually coming up.
He's coming up now.
He will start Friday.
Awesome.
So we got our little cookie with Yohan Moncada, and he's had his ups and downs.
I was going to ask you about him.
He's had his ups and downs, really struggling at the plate, but he's got a great eye.
Okay.
He's been great in the field so far. Just needs to, probably be a little more aggressive at the plate. He's a little too passive right now, but he does have a good eye. Now you get Ronaldo Lopez coming up. So we got 2 cookies up at the major league level.
It's so funny that we're talking about.
We got 2 guys we can sit there, watch, and kind of dessert on while we're terrible. Because they are their roster right now is definitely the worst in baseball.
It's bad. And we're sitting here talking about how the Cubs could take off and run away, and the Cardinals are battling at 500, and then you are the happiest person in the room.
Oh, it's great.
Like Austin is sitting here going, yeah, we're in first, but there's still many question marks. I'm sitting here only 3.5 back, finally at 500, saying, yeah, the Cardinals are playing well, but you're over here going, yeah!
I'm the most satisfied fan in this group right here.
It's not even close.
Because we're doing what we're supposed to do.
That's exactly right.
Unlike
you are
the
winning
Cubs,
this year.
The Cubs are supposed to be 10 games up. The Cardinals are supposed to be in the wild card race.
Exactly.
Right? No. We are the team that is doing what they're supposed to do.
You are winning life right now with regards to baseball.
We also talked a lot of Illini football. Great conversation with Christian DeLauro.
Yes.
Who I think is a strength of the offensive line. But we went up and down. I ranked the Illini positional groups about how I think they'll do. The offensive line was bottom of my list. Through no fault of DeLauro's.
No.
Nick Allegretti, I think, is an all Big Ten player. So you're saying, well, that's a good start.
I was going to say.
It's a big drop off after that because Gabe Meganson still hasn't put it together.
I'll be disappointed if he doesn't.
I would too. I mean, he's got to put it together. He's got time.
Yes.
It is August 8th.
Right.
These are initial impressions from camp. It could get a lot better. I like what I've seen out of Larry Boyd.
Okay.
He's hurt right now.
Right.
I don't know to what extent. And then after that, Doug Kramer could be serviceable at center.
Adam
Solomon, good run blocker, not a good pass blocker. Really poor pass blocker, actually. Alex Palczewski, bright spot, but he's a freshman.
Right.
He just turned 18.
He and Larry Boyd are just so young.
And then after that, the depth is really, really bad on that offensive line. So I'm really concerned about that group.
You mentioned you'd like to see Allegretti at center. We all understand that center is such an important part of that offensive line. But what would be the reason to absolutely move him to center?
Well, it's because I think Adam Solomon can be a mauler. I think he can be a great run blocker. And I think this team needs to run the football. One, I think they're good at it.
Right.
I mentioned running back, probably the strongest group along with linebacker on this team. Chase Crouch, even though as a passer I'm worried about him, he does show up in games.
Okay.
And he can make plays with his feet. I think this is going to be a good running team. I think Adam Solomon and the interior can really help that. At offensive tackle, I just think he's too much of a liability when it comes to pass blocking.
Fair enough.
But if you put him in the interior with Allegretti and Megginson, I think that can be a really strong run blocking group, even if you have to give up something pass blocking.
Now, you did say some positives about Illinois' football team in terms of what you had a tie for first of your two best positional groups, and it was actually a tie between the running backs and
the linebackers.
The linebackers, that's right.
Yeah, running backs. I mean, Kendrick Foster, Reggie Corbin, we saw them, both average 5.5 or more yards per carry last year.
What a cool story for Kendrick Foster.
Yeah, and Reggie Corbin wasn't expected to do much, and he shows up, and they both pass up Keyshawn Vaughn, who we thought was going to be a 1,000-yard back. Lovey thought he was going to be a 1,000-yard back. But yeah, Kendrick Foster looks great in camp. Mike Epstein, the freshman, looks like he could be special.
I'm excited to see him.
He's got the best burst of the group.
Wow.
Athletic, good receiver.
Okay.
Add some versatility to that group. And then Rayvon Bonner, tough runner in between the tackles, tough to bring down. I think he's going to be a very good Big Ten back. And then linebacker, Trey Watson.
My guy.
Looks great in the middle. Julian Jones, this could be his breakout year. It needs to be.
That would be awesome.
Jake Hansen's a staff favorite, athletic at that weak side linebacker, makes plays. And I think Dele Harding, Delshawn Phillips, those are guys who could step into a starting role and do a pretty good job. So I like that group. I think you have multiple guys who can be starters. Justice Williams started the game last year.
Wow, that's some depth. Dele Harding, of course, came in as, a 4-star kid?
Close. He was the best recruit in that 2016 class and really good against the run.
Got it. That'll be interesting. And Julian Jones, the guy I told you, like Malik Turner, when I look at him, I see a potential pro with regards to his build. Now, can you get it done, though, on the field?
Can you do the football thing?
That's going to be the key.
The other groups I like, defensive tackle, I think you're really deep there. Wide receiver, you added a lot of playmakers. I think that group could go up a little bit.
Okay.
But that's including Dudek on the field, Smalling living up to his potential. He looks really good.
Yes.
Mike Turner's a pro. I think that group could end up being maybe your better group, but we got to see it on the field.
Fair enough.
Plus, the offensive line struggled. The quarterbacks have struggled throwing the ball. Can they get the wide receivers the ball? That's another concern of mine.
We have enough time here. Can you rip through, without saying anything too much about each position, can you rip through what you had, one through whatever?
Safeties on Pat Nelson and Bennett Williams.
Okay.
I think Bennett Williams has really stepped up as a freshman free safety. Defensive ends, a lot of guys, a lot of unproven guys, but you do have talent there. Quarterbacks, good runner in Chase Crouch. I like what I've seen out of Cam Thomas, but
Chase Crouch has never been a big practice guy, has he?
Well, yeah, he's just a gamer.
He just wants to get to the game. He's like, enough of this training crap.
Specialist, you got an Irishman kicking.
Yeah.
And James McCourt.
And an Aussie.
punting.
I love that.
Tight ends, a lot of unknowns. A lot of guys, a lot of unknowns.
Yes.
Corners, Jalen Dunlap, really good. He hasn't practiced yet. But the two freshmen, Tony Adams has looked great in camp. Nate Hobbs we haven't seen because he's been sick. After that, though, really concerned there. And I mentioned offensive line, so one I'm most concerned about right now.
Oh, and Jeremy and I decided that "Oh Canada" is a better national anthem than Star Spangled Banner.
America the Beautiful would be better than the Star Spangled Banner.
Right. So don't get mad at us. We're still patriotic. We're still America.
Yeah.
But "Oh Canada" just gets it done.
That's Drive Time, presented by Honda BMW Champaign for new and used vehicles. Visit their huge inventory at the corner of Neal and Burwash and Savoy, or visit them online at drivechampaign.com.
Doug Bouchon, orangeandbluenews.com, is going to join us next. And Tay's Take later. If you have a question, get it to Jeremy at J Warner Scout. It is the Tay and J Show.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat. From Charlotte, here's Dari Noka.
All the man ever wanted was an apology. Now, it's up to each individual to decide if Houston Nutt really deserved an apology, but it was clearly important to him that Hugh Freeze and Ole Miss give him one. He says he couldn't get a coaching job because they were telling people on and off the record that some of their alleged football rules violations came under his watch. Look at the NCAA notice of allegations for yourself. You can figure out how many may have. But nonetheless, Nutt's attorney says that a separation agreement between his client and the school should have prevented such statements. So Nutt asked for an apology. Freeze and Ole Miss didn't give him one, so he sued. The lawsuit led to a search of Freeze's phone records. Freeze is now gone, and Nutt's side has offered to settle the suit, according to ESPN's Mark Schlabach. And to Houston Nutt's credit, the pre-Freeze head coach isn't asking for a dime, not for himself. He wants the public apology he wanted all along, and for Ole Miss to spend $500,000 to establish a state of Mississippi Commission on Sports Ethics. Ironic? Maybe, but what's the lesson here? Us married men may know this better than anybody. If someone wants an apology, Even if you don't think they deserve one, just give it to them in 60 seconds. SEC country.
It's time for some straight talk. You love your phone, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm watching highlights on it right now.
But I'm guessing you don't love your big old expensive wireless plan with all the mystery fees and data overages on your bill every month.
Well, tell me about it.
Well, what if I told you, Greenie, that you could keep the phone you love but pay a whole lot less every month?
How do I do that?
Just switch to Straight Talk Wireless. You can actually keep your exact same phone, your exact same number, even your exact same network, but for a whole lot less than you're paying now.
Boom, that's a home run.
Out of the park.
Bring your own phone to Straight Talk Wireless. Unlimited plans start at just $45 a month with nationwide coverage on America's largest, most dependable 4G LTE networks. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart. Savings may vary. A month equals 30 days. Please refer always to the latest terms and conditions of service at straighttalk.com.
Things like this don't just happen everywhere. Sure, growing up in Oklahoma, I knew multiple families who had dogs named Boomer and Sooner. But the fandom in the SEC, now that reaches an entirely different level sometimes. Today, a set of Tennessee triplets turned 5 days old. Born to a father who loves the Vols and a mother who roots for Vandy, there's no Commodore love at all in these three. How could there be with names like Knox, as in Knoxville, Neyland, as in Neyland Stadium, home of the Vols, and finally, Tennessee Grace for the little girl. Tennessee 3, Vanderbilt nothing. And welcome to SEC country, you three. With the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Dari Novin.
Your four-legged friends need protection too. Pet insurance from Pekin Insurance covers cats and dogs at least 6 weeks of age or older as an enhancement to your homeowner's coverage. Choose between $2,500 or $5,000 worth of coverage for a variety of pet health services. You can even take your pet to the veterinarian of your choice. Learn more at PekinInsurance.com or ask your local agent about how to protect your furry family members. For pet insurance that is beyond the expected, contact Pekin Insurance today.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, Jay, did I miss out? Have the rates gone up? The answer is no. Rates are still low, and it's a perfect time to refinance your home, especially if your mortgage rate is higher than 4.25%. If you'd like to lower your interest rate and save thousands of dollars in interest without starting over on a new 30-year loan, a Quicken Loans Yorgage is what you're looking for. With our exclusive Yorgage, you can choose a term that works best for you, anywhere from 8 to 30 years. The rate today on an 8-year Yorgage is 3.25%. APR 3.75%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 3rd year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
First Financial Bank invites you to a free Community Shred Day on Saturday, August 12th at our Philo Road Banking Center in Urbana. Bring up to 5 boxes or bags of papers you no longer need. Old tax returns, bank statements, pay stubs, or any documents that contain personal information. And we'll shred them on the spot, completely and confidentially. We'll also be collecting worn-out American flags for respectful disposal by the VFW. That's Saturday, August 12th from 9 to 11 a.m. at First Financial Bank, 2510 South Philo Road in Urbana. Member FDIC.
Your law enforcement official of the month. It's Devin Watkins, Deputy, Champaign County Sheriff's Department. But every time you go to work, you got your vest on. It could be imminent danger. You think about that?
I do. My family probably does more than what I do. Just because I see that it is my career and it's what I've always wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So I don't go into it with fear. I go into it with, okay, who can I help today? And a little bit of excitement.
Okay. And have you been in some tough situations where, kind of a thing?
Absolutely. I mean, there's been some situations where I'm like, how am I going to get this one to calm down? But normally it just takes a lot of what they call verbal judo. So we do a lot of talking, and I think I'm pretty good at doing that and talking people down. And I think it has a lot to do with maybe my size and the fact that I'm a female probably helps out a little bit because I'm not super intimidating with my uniform on, so that sometimes helps.
Brought to you by SK Exteriors, their website, callsktoday.com.
From homework to practice, Busey understands the demands of back to school. Simplify your family's finances with innovative banking solutions from Busey. Download the Busey mobile app to deposit checks, view balances, transfer funds, pay bills, and other people. Start the school year off right. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of our many convenient locations today. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's me, your old AC. We need to talk, man. I am out of hair. Trust me, it's not going to get much better. I need to be replaced. Call the experts and get a new air conditioner that will save up to 50% on energy bills. Go ahead, do it. I'll be right here. Whew.
At Chief Bauer Service Experts, save up to $3,100 on a new home comfort system. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefbauer.com. For expert service guaranteed.
Call 866-EXPERTS.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday mornings 7 to 9, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkland with the 523 Sports Center update presented by State Farm agent John Kaywood. At State Farm and Home and Auto Work as a team, you score time and money. Call State Farm agent John Kaywood at 217-367-1105 today. The bullpen didn't blow for the Cubs. They won last night against the Giants 5-3. Javier Baez hit a 2-run inside the park home run. Anthony Rizzo was 3 for 5 with a run batted in. The Cubs moved to 59-52 and now are a game and a half over the Brewers, who fell to the Twins last night due to a balk. The Cubs and Giants play tonight. It's Jose Quintana taking on Ty Block. Game time is 9:15 and it's on US 105.9, so stay up late for that one. The Cards and Royals played their Show Me State cross-state battle last night. The Cards got the upper hand in the game 1, 11-3. There was a trio of homers by the Birds in Carpenter, Wong, and DeYoung. Martinez pitched his ace-quality material, hurling 8 innings of 7 hit, 2 earned run ball with 7 Ks and no walks. The Cardinals are 3.5 back of the Cubs in the Central. Game time is 7:15 and listen right here on ESPN CU 93.5. The White Sox take on the 71-40 Astros tonight from Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. It's Derek Holland for the home team taking on the 2015 AL Cy Young winner Dallas Keuchel, who has a 2.15 ERA, a whip of 1, and a 7.96 K per 9 this season. Ronaldo Lopez has been called up from AAA Charlotte. He has a 3.79 ERA and a 1.24 whip.
Championship.
How excited are you, Jeremy?
5.
What if he wins the game for you and you get all mad?
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Lose 2-1, just like Quintana.
Yeah.
Thank you, Austin. It is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lon Tay, Jeremy Werner. Jeremy went on a Metallica kick earlier.
Yeah. So somebody said that you should have played Fade to Black. I agree. That is one of my favorite Metallica songs.
Can we, after Doug Bouchon, can you have a Metallica? Can you have that Fade to Black?
Yeah, we can have. We should probably ask Doug.
Okay.
What his favorite Metallica song is. Now, I don't think he liked the Metallica talk during the game. Like he's a Cubs fan. He just wanted to watch the game.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So it'd be one of those, which I understand.
Yeah.
But baseball, you get 9 innings, right?
That's right.
I mean, let's listen. Have some fun during the baseball game. Come on, guys. Honestly. All right. It's the Tay and J Show. Lon Tay, Jeremy Werner. Did you hear the dust up in Boston, though, with Dennis Eckersley?
Yeah, David Price.
Yeah, that's not going well. Like Eckersley has said a few critical things.
As
and
he should.
Who wouldn't be with David Price's game right now? And I guess he kind of bullied him a little bit on the plane.
Yeah, picking fights with the media never really goes well.
It doesn't.
Unless you're running for president. There's not many times
You're right.
you can pick those fights.
It's so true.
And win.
It is so
there
true.
are very few people, and our president right now did that really well.
He was incredible at that.
Right?
Whether you like him or not.
Yes, it worked for him.
He owned that.
He's the only guy I know that it usually works for.
That's exactly right. He owned it. All right, it's time to head to the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line. Every Tuesday night, half price, large pizza night at Jupiters at the Crossing. Dine in, enjoy half price large pizzas along with $1.50 Miller Lite drafts and PBR bottles.
Joining us now is Doug Bouchon, orangeandbluenews.com.
Then we're going to find our best friend Doug, and then we're going to give him our best friend hug. Doug.
I missed that, man. I missed it. Doug Bouchon, how are you, my friend?
Hey, guys. Doing good. I'm still out here at the practice fields at
across from Florida Avenue residence. Practice just got over maybe 30 minutes ago.
All right, more importantly, Doug.
Yes.
Number one Metallica song. We talked about them a little bit today.
I like one, man. The guitar solo just kills it for me.
No doubt.
By far my favorite Metallica song.
Is that the one where the guy, is that the video where he's just like he's paralyzed?
I think so.
Is it one? I think that's right.
I don't remember the music video. But
yeah, it is. They took some scenes from a movie. I think it's called Johnny Got His Gun, an anti-war film.
That's right.
Kind of spliced it in with the video.
Good call. Good call. Doug Bouchon coming out
Bring
strong with
I
Metallica.
knew we would with that. Doug, before we get into what you've seen at training camp, Calvin Avery, 4-star commitment from Texas, teammates with Kevin Myers. What's this mean for Illinois, and what do you think of him as a player?
Well, he's a great player. If you watch his film, watch his huddle film if you get a chance. I'm sure you have. He's a wrecking ball coming up the middle, just bull rushing, knocking guys over. He's got a super quick get off for a guy his size. You look at him and he's just a big kid, and he just gets off the line of scrimmage really quick. Beeline for the quarterback, and is just really quick in a short burst. He's a good player, really, and it's the number one ranked player that Lovie Smith has recruited since he's been here for 2 years, and it's a difference maker coming out of the state of Texas too, because that state is just recruited by everybody. Big 12 country. There's SEC teams coming in and now with Texas A&M being in the SEC. So it's a huge recruit for him, and maybe something that can get him kind of started recruiting some high-level players.
Doug, why? Why did he choose Illinois, and what kind of a ripple will that have in the state of Texas, if any, about other recruits saying, wait a minute, these guys are going to Illinois?
Yeah, they've taken notice. Bishop Dunn High School is a place where Andrew Hayes-Stoker, the wide receiver coach, has really gotten in good there, knows the coaching staff really well. You got Kevon Myers, who's good friends with Calvin Avery. They got in there early. They went down there the first year and did a couple camps in Texas and got to know these 2018 and 2019 kids and built relationships, and that's what it's all about. And that was kind of the first step. And then getting the kids on campus and sitting down with Lovie Smith really kind of turns these recruitments. He's a closer, When they sit him down, they sit kids down in his office, and he has a chance to talk to them about the program and the direction that it's headed. A lot of them buy in.
Doug Bouchon, orangeandbluenews.com. Follow him on Twitter at Illinois Rivals.
So what do you think about this class right now, the class of 2018? They have 12 commitments. Calvin, definitely the top prospect there. They got a couple kids out of Florida here recently. What do you think of this class, and what do they have left to address?
It has a headliner now, which is always good. You want a headliner in the class, and Calvin Avery is that guy. The kids from Florida, they're athletes. It's kind of a common denominator, and you can see that with the 2017 class here at practice. Right. The team looks better getting off the bus now. They're recruiting athletes, and you have to think these are the same kind of kids that they're getting from Florida. They're not getting the top kids out of Florida, the 4- and 5-star kids. They're getting the kids that kind of slip through the cracks. When you're talking about Miami and Florida State and Florida. So we got to see them in camp next year to know for sure. But they look like they have some athleticism.
You mentioned they look good getting off the bus. The freshmen, Jeremy and I have talked about that today with some of these impact freshmen on this team, like Tony Adams, Smalling, Larry Boyd, and on and on. How impressed have you been by some of these young kids?
Well, when I sit down, I start going through my depth chart, and I see so many freshmen in the 2 deep. You start counting numbers, and you can't even do a top 5. You got to do a top 10. So they have a good class. It's the kind of class where if you string 2 or 3 of these kind of classes together, now you're competing in the Big Ten West. You can't. It's not like basketball where you can turn the program around with one class. But if they string them together like this, they got some players. I love Bobby Roundtree, the defensive end. Kendrick Green on the D line, Alex Palzewski and Larry Boyd on the O line, and then the wide receivers are so talented. Ricky Smalling, Carmani Green out of Florida, Miami Central, and then Kendall Smith, kind of a surprise coming out of the Chicago area. He's got good hands and good size. It's a good class. It's the best class I've seen coming in here since I've been covering Illinois for 8 seasons.
Wow.
And if they can string them together, if they can get key guys at key positions like quarterback, for example, I think they can start competing.
Yeah, Doug, what does that tell you? Because usually I don't go to camp and go, okay, that guy's a hit. Mm-hmm. Like that guy definitely going to work out. Like I go through this class, and there's a couple guys I still have questions about, like Dawson DeGroot, some of the defensive linemen. Right. But there's a lot of kids I sit there and go, yeah, that kid's going to be a player. What's that tell you about this staff as recruiters and evaluators?
The second part, the evaluation part, they go out there and they do the legwork. They go out and they see these kids after schools. They watch them work out. They watch them, in Florida and Texas, they have spring ball, so they watch them go through spring ball. And I think they're doing a good job picking out guys who can play and guys who definitely look the part. If you haven't been out here to watch practice, you see some of these guys walking around, they look like Big Ten football players. That hasn't always been the case in the past, during the last era. So they're doing a good job, I think, of picking out the guys that they want, going after them and getting them.
He's Doug Bouchon, orangeandbluenews.com. Follow him on Twitter at Illinois Rivals. Give me your biggest reasons for optimism for this team.
I think the defense has an identity. Second year under Lovie Smith's system, they're flying around out there. They're enthusiastic. They're aggressive. They're turning the ball over. The linebacker core, I think, is the strength of the defense and maybe the strength of the football team. They go 5 or 6 deep there. The starters, I don't see one guy out there who's a superstar who's going to compete for the Buckets Award, but they can all play. And and they're bought into the turning the ball over. They're out there every day ripping at the ball, punching at the ball, trying to create turnovers. 3 linebackers had interceptions today. So, they're wreaking havoc on Chase Crouch and that offense. But I think that's the reason for optimism. I think the defense is going to be aggressive. There's some holes there, especially in the secondary, at corner, maybe on the D-line. But the defense is going to be better, I think, this year.
I'll be the other guy. I'll be the pessimist. What are you looking at out there that really worries you?
O-line. You just can't afford any injuries. We saw it. There's kind of a ripple effect from losing Larry Boyd. You're putting people out there at tackle who don't really have the feet to stop the outside pass rush. A guy like Adam Solomon and Gabe Meganson, who are both better inside at guard than they are at tackle. I think Jeremy's probably talked about that on the show, too. They just don't have guys to plug in that kind of fit. It's a team full of guards, just a few guys like DeLauro and Larry Boyd that can play tackle. And Boyd is out now. Looks like he's got a shoulder. When I watched him come off, it looked like a stinger to me, and he didn't play again today, standing on the sideline. The O-line you're worried about. Quarterback play is a worry. Chase Crouch is a gamer. We know that. When he gets on the field in a game, he's going to make some plays with his feet especially. But throwing the ball out here, they haven't been very good. Neither him nor Jeff George, the backup. They've thrown a lot of interceptions. They throw into coverage, a lot of sacks. These freshmen D-end are getting in the offensive backfield and making plays. So you got to worry about the offense. I think the running game is going to be pretty good, but the passing game is going to be a ball control offense. It doesn't look so great right now.
Out of that offensive line, I think Allegretti's really good.
Yes.
DeLauro, as you mentioned, good. I do like the freshmen, Doug, Palczewski and Boyd. I mean, what do you see out of them for the future, and what can you expect out of those two, if healthy, as freshmen?
Well, Larry Boyd, he's just a mountain. And then the amazing thing about him is he can move. For a guy that size, 340 pounds, and can move side to side. He's a tough kid. They plugged him in as a number one tackle on day one, so that tells you something about what they think of him. Palczewski, I think a lot of people were surprised by him, but if you watch him on film from last year, the kid's a killer. He has a real killer instinct. He's a tough kid. He's long. He's gained a bunch of weight. He's 292 pounds. And, I think we've talked about it. He looks like a kid you would see at Wisconsin or Michigan playing offensive line. And he's going to get even bigger. He's going to play at 300 pounds in his career. And he's the kind of guy that's going to play for money on Sundays. Same thing with Larry Boyd. So the future's bright with those two kids. They just need more of them. They need more guys that look like those two. And if they can get that over the next 2 or 3 years, they might have something.
Doug, another concern of mine is that second cornerback spot. But then I've watched Tony Adams the last couple of days, and I hate getting too excited about freshmen because they're freshmen and they're probably going to screw up. And we haven't seen Nate Hobbs yet. And then Bennett Williams steps into the starting lineup. What do you think of that secondary?
That like you said. First of all, I would say that I'm concerned that Jalen Dunlap hasn't practiced yet, because when I went through and made my top 20 players of 2017, Jalen Dunlap was the number one guy on my list. I think he's the best player on the team, and he hasn't practiced. He stands on the side and catches passes. He needs to get out there and get reps. Cornerback is a thing where you got perishable skills. just having those instincts to turn on the football and make a play on the ball. He needs to get out there and get his reps. But he's good. He's going to be an NFL player. Opposite him, they've rotated a whole bunch of guys. And Tony Adams was one of them today. Played a lot yesterday, more yesterday than today. Very talented. But what you're going to see from a freshman are blown coverages. But the thing about Tony is he's got the feet and the catch-up speed to make up for the mistakes. You don't see that from the other guys like Sumter and Amari Hayes. They just don't have that kind of quick twitch where they can make up for a mistake and turn their hips and run with guys down the sideline. But Tony Adams is a good player. The thing about him is, though, he played safety in high school and he played wide receiver. Never played corner before. So he's just learning all the different techniques. And you're on an island. It might be the most technically difficult position to play on a football team.
Doug Bouchon, Orange and Blue News. Again, follow him on Twitter at Illinois Rivals. You talk about freshmen coming in their first year. You had some freshman coaches last year. Lovie Smith, first time being a head coach in college. Hardy Nickerson taking over the first time. Their second season now, Doug. How much can they learn through 1 year, and how much can these players learn now in this system going into a second year?
Oh, a lot. Having the off season just to have classroom time and those practices, those 15 practices in the spring makes a world of difference. They're not changing anything. The playbook's the same as it was from the day they stepped on campus. Kids are getting used to it. On the defensive side, they've really bought into Lovie ball, the cover 2, Tampa 2 defense, turning the ball over. He continues to say the number one goal on defense is not to stop them, it's to score. And these guys have that mentality. You'll scoop the ball up and run, get pick sixes and turn the ball over. So it's big, definitely, being in the system. And I'll say too, Lovie Smith's a really good football coach. You watch him go about his business, and he's so professional at it. He knows what a good football player looks like. He's not afraid to play a young guy if that young guy is going to give him the best chance to win.
I love that.
And he's got a solid staff all around him. But I think the program's going to look good in a couple of years, and fans should be pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I like the fact that he will play a freshman. And he showed it last year. I like that fact.
You should. I mean, if they're the most talented player, give you the best chance to win, you should play him. So, Doug, this 2017 season, what are the standards you'll use to say this season is a success if they do this? How are you measuring success this season?
Well, you want to beat the beatable teams, especially at home. That's first, and especially the conference games, and then those two first non-conference games, Western Kentucky and Ball State. You want to win both of those, and against the teams that have more talent than you, I want to see them compete. You don't want to see the team get blown out of the game and just be non-competitive. That's a real turnoff for everybody. You want to see an exciting brand of football and to keep the games close even if you're losing, and that's kind of the standard you're going to look for in year two. And really, in any rebuild, that's what you look for. Are guys playing the game right? Are they competing? Are they sticking with some of the teams that are supposed to blow them out? So that's kind of the standard for the second year. You'd like to see more wins, and you'd love to see a bowl game. I don't think they have the depth of talent yet to really project them for a bowl game this year, but that would certainly be a great thing to go to a bowl in year two.
Doug Bouchon, good stuff, buddy. Live from training camp. You can follow him on Twitter at Illinois Rivals. Read his stuff, orangeandbluenews.com. Doug Bouchon, thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. I haven't talked to Doug in a while. It's good to get him on. A lot of the same. Oh, did you already do it?
Oh, this is a long intro again.
Oh, this is another one of those metallic. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a story behind this song that's interesting. Look at you just coming right out.
All right, we got to get to the really good part. Not there.
Listen to that drum.
It's just headbanging stuff. All right, yeah, when it breaks down, though.
Oh, my goodness.
Stripping down.
This it?
There it is. That drum.
We're going to leave you with this. Taste Take is next. Doggy Doug. Oh, hit me. Get it. Get it now.
Darkness imprisoning me. All that I see, absolute horror. I cannot live. I cannot die. Death to myself. Fighting my holy will.
Oh, that's good stuff, man. It is the Tay and J Show.
When you hit the brakes in time, but the guy behind you doesn't, get it to Gerber. When your teenager puts the dent in Stu Dent Driver, yep, get it to Gerber. Gerber Collision and Glass. Call 877-7-GERBER. Gerber comes highly recommended.
We alarm our houses, and we alarm our cars. But when it comes to your personal information, it can be tough to know when something isn't right. That's where Discover Card can help. Now, we'll send you an alert if we find your social security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. And this service is free for card members. Just sign up online. It's our way of looking out for you, not just your account. Learn more at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply.
Escape to Legends Golf Course in Champaign for your next round of golf. This well-maintained 9-hole course sits nestled off Staley Road in Champaign. Legends hosts a top-quality range and facility to work on your game or an afternoon of family entertainment. Wanting to take your game to the next level? Legends offers club and fittings, PGA certified lessons from Greg Flessner. Legends Golf Course. Take a swing with them off Staley Road in Champaign. It's Devin Watkins, Deputy Champaign County Sheriff's Department. Just does a great job, and we appreciate all that she does. So when you get home after your shift and your 2 black labs see you, they are so jacked.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do they calm down to go to bed because it's too late to go running?
I think they've got it down now. As soon as I sit down, they jump in my lap and they're ready to lay down with me.
And then you can run the next day.
Yep.
And they run pretty well with you then.
They do. They love it.
You need to have roller blades when you start because the dogs bolt on you.
That's what everybody tells me.
It'd be dangerous, so have to wear a helmet. Well, listen, I'm thankful that you do what you do. Thank you because, again, you're serving, you're protecting, you're helping our county be better. And there are people like you that make it really, really good for us here. And I appreciate what you're doing.
It's my pleasure. Well, I really enjoy the career, so it's definitely my pleasure.
Well, stay safe out there.
Thank you.
You're a Law Enforcement Official of the Month, brought to you by Effie Moran Security Solutions.
This is Eric Bolin with Provident Financial Group. Are you sure you're on track to reach your retirement goals? Wondering how much money you'll need to last your lifetime? Whether you're retiring in a few weeks or a few years, we can analyze your needs and create a plan that's right for you. Find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com. Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network.
Provident, partnerships built on trust.
FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
The piano is one of the world's greatest musical advancements. Your piano, old or new, brings music to life, but it needs to be maintained for optimum performance. The Piano People restore, rebuild, and service pianos nationwide and for your prized heirloom at home. For over 35 years, the Piano People have brought new life to a variety of pianos. Their quality workmanship makes them one of the nation's leading piano experts. Let Champaign's Piano People increase the lifespan of your piano. Visit pianopeoplecu.com for new and used pianos or an in-home evaluation. pianopeoplecu.com.
Delicious food, cold brews, great music and art, Kids Zone, and more. Join the Champaign Park District for the Taste of Champaign-Urbana happening August 18th and 19th in Westside Park, Champaign. Try something new. Get a sample of local favorites as you explore exciting food vendors. Hear free live music featuring Rock Country Act, Murphy 500, and the danceable Sun Stereo. The Taste of Champaign-Urbana has something for everyone, so come to Westside Park August 18th and 19th and be ready to eat. Get more information online today at champaignparks.com. That's champaignparks.com.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
Lots of things take 15 minutes, like sitting through a halftime show or running a very slow mile. Well, Buffalo Wild Wings wants to add one more to the list, the B-Dubs Fast Break Lunch. Order from this menu and you'll get your lunch in 15 minutes or it's free. So put in your order, count all the tiles on our ceiling, and voila, 15 minutes and your food has arrived. Or it's on us. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Valid for tables of 6 or less, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at participating locations for dine-in only. Other restrictions apply. See participating location for details.
Take advantage of a great summer special for braces at Illini Smiles Dental Care on Springfield Avenue in Champaign and at Angel Smiles Dental Center in Rantoul. Schedule an appointment today for a free consultation for braces with our orthodontic experts. Illini Smiles and Angel Smiles will present an individualized treatment plan based on your personal needs to give you the care that you deserve. Not only does Illini Smiles and Angel Smiles take your insurance, they're also in network with many PPO plans, which means lower costs for you. Plus, save up to $600 off orthodontic services if you start your treatment before September 1st. Don't need braces? Schedule a back-to-school checkup for just $50, which includes a school exam and x-rays. In Champaign, call Illini Smiles Dental Care at 356-3335. Or in Rantoul, call Angel Smiles Dental Center at 892-8868. Angel Smiles in Rantoul also takes the medical card for most dental services for children 21 years and younger. Take advantage of these two great specials. Save up to $600 off braces if you start before September 1st. Or a back-to-school exam and x-rays for just $50 at Illini Smiles Dental Care and Angel Smiles Dental Center.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons, 3 to 6, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Which one is this?
We had a request for Fade to Black.
This is Fade to Black.
So we do take requests here on the Tay and J Show for the next 8 days we're here.
Changing our complete structure of the Tay and J Show. Next hour, Huey Lewis in the news. All right. This is all off their greatest hits.
Yeah. Probably need to get it.
I need to get it. Well, let me a little more. From that to this.
This is better.
Oh, yeah! What you feeling, huh? What's on your mind, huh?
I think I have too much information stored.
Lindy's loving you today, by the way. You're going crazy on Metallica.
Saying you are one unique individual. Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
It is Tay's Take, brought to you by DP Dough. Visit them online at dpdough.com, the original Calzone company. Been in Champaign since 2006. Open late for those late night munchies. Let's see.
I don't have many of those anymore.
Try their Danger Zone.
Oh.
Hamburger, cheddar, onions, hot sauce, and taco seasoning.
Oh, my goodness.
The Danger Zone, only at DP Dough.
Taco seasoning on top of all of that.
Yes.
Just for the heck of it.
All right, Ryan asks.
Ryan.
In honor of high school sports starting back up, what's your worst experience covering a high school event while at WAND?
Okay, I have a story. I'm not sure if it didn't happen at the event. I've almost been taken out a few times by sweeps and such while I was shooting high school football. The worst time ever, and I'm going to make this quick, I shot a high school soccer match between St. Teresa and I think it was Centennial. I think you've heard this story. And Centennial beat him like 6-0, right? So I go back, I edit the highlights, I throw on 2 goals from Centennial, and I show a stop from the St. T goalkeeper. So after the show is over, I get a call from an irate St. T parent saying, I don't understand, this is a Decatur TV station, and all you did was show Centennial goals. And I'm like, dude,
you didn't score.
Centennial beat you 6-0.
I like how you call the woman a dude.
No, it was a guy.
Oh.
I'm sorry. And I didn't say dude, but I was like, well, sir, you lost 6-0. What do you want me to show? And he started firing me up so much that I finally said, listen, I showed a save by your goalkeeper, and that's amazing because she only had like 2. And so he just got mad and hung up, and I got in trouble by the general manager.
Okay, here's what people got to realize.
Okay.
A lot of times you guys you try to get to 8 games a night.
Right.
So you shoot what's there when you're there.
Yes.
And you guys are lucky to have the TV coverage, okay?
Amen. Amen to that.
Most schools don't get that kind of TV coverage.
No.
So just enjoy it.
Yeah. And sometimes it's the luck of the draw. You show up in Villa Grove, all of a sudden they don't score. So you're going to see a couple of passes, a couple of nice runs. You don't get any touchdowns, but it's because you were at Tuscola, Arthur, and B-Mint before that. Yep. I know those are schools I don't even think are around anymore. I'm kidding.
Atwood Hammond.
Atwood Hammond. They're now with Arthur. I think B-Mint now, I don't even know anymore. I think there was Sir Gordo.
Brad, PJ Championship this week.
Yes.
Since we're all rooting for Spieth to win the Grand Slam, I am. Mm-hmm. Who are some of your backup picks this week?
I am not rooting for Spieth.
Oh, I am.
I'm not a Spieth guy.
Oh, he's my guy.
Why am I not a Spieth guy? He's like one of the nicest people in the world.
I just think he's got a specialness to him. I think he can be great. I think he can be one of the all-time greats.
I agree with you. I do agree with that.
I don't know if any of those other guys will be. They're all good. Dustin Johnson, ridiculous.
Yes, he
He's
is.
talented.
Yes, he is.
Day, really good.
Yep.
McIlroy, really good. Spieth has that it that I think he can. He can get double digits.
He does. I've got a name. I got a name of a guy that I think is finally going to get it done.
Ron's got a guy.
I got a guy. Ricky Fowler. Ricky Fowler.
That's your guy.
No, not normally. Dustin Johnson's my guy. But I kind of root for Ricky. No, you're right. He's kind of my guy.
Ricky's your guy. You always want Ricky to win.
Andrew kind of dresses like him. So Ricky's my guy. I'm that guy. I like that. I don't like the flat bill. But no, this is a PGA championship here on American soil. It's time for Fowler to bust through. I'm going Ricky Fowler to win it.
Illini Mo, what is the worst beer you ever drank? Is it drunk?
I think it would be
drinking.
You've ever consumed.
I think it's drink.
Yeah, I think it is drink. This is, now listen, I could go with the extravagant. Like, I don't like the IPAs, the stuff that you drink. I've had them and I'm like, blah.
Little green line.
Yeah. But basically what I've done, though, is had one drink of those and said, no, I don't want this.
Yeah.
You made me drink something when we did our show uptown here, and it was after, remember we did it? It was an Irish bar. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what I made you drink, though.
Triptych or something like that.
I might have made you drink a 312 or something.
Nah, I don't
you would
remember.
like that.
But it wasn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
The worst...
It's got flavor, which Ron doesn't like in his beer.
It does. The worst beer I've ever had is Miller High Life. I poured it into a glass, and it took 5 minutes to get from the bottle to the glass. It's like syrup.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing ever. And, of course, I'm a Bud Light guy, so Miller High Life. Ugh.
The beast. Milwaukee's best. That's mine. All right, Cade, great question.
Okay.
Would you eat your least favorite food, which we determined is beets?
Beets. Yeah, you asked me, what's my least favorite
for 60 straight days for every meal, if that meant Luke Ford committed Illinois. So for 60 straight days, you have to eat beets.
I had to eat beets?
Every meal.
So breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And snacks.
Oh, my goodness. For Luke Ford.
Who
is the second best tight end in the country.
60 days on. He's baby Gronk. You have Gronk on your team, 60 days eating beets 3-5 times a day.
Man, it'd probably make me healthy. that would be a double. No, I'm not doing it.
Bears.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Oh, you're such a...
I'm sorry, Luke Ford and Lovey.
If I were an Illini fan, I'd do it. I'd eat Brussels sprouts.
Okay. Yeah. I disagree with that. No, Luke Ford, you're not that important to me, buddy.
Will. There's a lot of talk about Ron Turner recently. Whatever. Is there?
I don't know. I haven't heard of it.
Well, anyway, we're talking about whatever happened to him. Why'd he break bad? He's saying specific to what happened during the program that they went from the Sugar Bowl to 2003 not winning again.
Well, because every receiver and Kurt Kittner left.
Recruiting.
Yeah, recruiting, basically. Kittner was around, I think, another year after that, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean,
5 and 7.
Yeah, you just recruiting. You just started going downhill recruiting-wise.
Mike O'Neill, would you rather get a free appetizer for every meal or a free dessert?
Oh, that's terribly easy for me. I don't eat dessert. Appetizer in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Yes. A lot of times I don't eat. I'll just get an appetizer and eat half of that. And then slug down about 6 beers.
That's where it comes from. There's the calories. All right, last question.
Okay.
The champagne room. What are Lon's top 4 breakfast cereals of all time? A.K.A. Lon's Mount Rushmore of breakfast cereals.
Wow. Okay. I'm going Raisin Bran. I'm going Frosted Flakes.
That's a good one.
Lucky Charms.
Overrated.
Oh, I love Lucky Charms. And my favorite cereal ever is Sugar Corn Pops.
I don't think you have to say sugar, then.
Oh, no, just
I
Corn
think they're
Pops?
just normal Corn Pops.
Oh, man, you could
Corn
just
Pops
eat those as a snack.
Yeah.
You don't even need milk.
I appreciate the Raisin Bran. I'd put the word crunch in there.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
Lucky Charms, not for me.
No?
I don't like the marshmallow.
And you're the cereal guy. I don't eat much
I'd
cereal.
rather have Frosted Cheerios, which basically the rest of Lucky Charms are.
What's the worst cereal you've ever had? I think Fruity Pebbles I had one time.
No, that's like my top 4.
What?
Fruity Pebbles is like my top 4.
I hated it. It was like my milk was like red and purple at the end.
Oh, they're so good.
Oh, I hated it.
Honey Bunches of Oats might be my favorite, though. Honey Bunches of Oats.
Okay.
Pretty far up there.
How about, remember the honeycomb?
Yeah, we got a box of honeycomb right now.
You do?
I like them dry, actually. You know what else would be in there? Apple Jacks.
Oh, wow. I see. I'm not an Apple Jacks guy.
Ooh.
No, not an Apple Jack. Cheerios, kind of boring.
Cookie Crisp, is that cheating though? Because Cookie Crisp is basically just little cookies.
Kind of. You're basically eating cookies. You're eating dessert.
Hey, thanks to our guest today, Christian DeLauro, Illinois offensive tackle, and Doug Bouchon, orangeandbluenews.com. It's Miss A Show. Get the podcast, ESPNCU.com. Thanks to Jack Long, Harry Black, Austin Berkland. I'll be back again tomorrow.
Okay. Jack Long, you are?
Yeah. I'll be here tomorrow.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm gone Thursday.
2 days in a row.
Wow, this
We're
is
both
crazy.
gone Thursday.
We're both gone
It's
Thursday.
Carp and the interns.
Oh, good luck with that one. Oh, that could be fun, actually. It is the Tay and J Show. It's Lon Tay from ESPN 93.5, and whenever I need work done on my car, I go to Long's Garage. No, not Lon's Garage, Long's Garage in Urbana on Main Street, just east of Schnucks. From engines and brakes to new tires, you can get a variety of auto maintenance assistance from the experts at Long's Garage Complete Auto Service. And this summer, beat the heat and come into Long's Garage for an AC check. Since 1941, Long's Garage has offered expert repair services. Visit them today at 503 East Main Street in Urbana, just east of Schnucks.
Okay, your I Meet Sales Room theme song, take one. The Meat Boat. Soon we'll be grilling another steak. I'm pretty sure that's already been done before. Take two. I'll eat meat with you. I'll eat burgers and brats. And again, already been done before. Take three. Meat, 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 meat. Meat, 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 meat. The U of I Meat Sales Room on Maryland and Urbana. They may not have clever theme songs, but they do have the best meat in town.
328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing. 328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing. We have pull and we're hooked on you. Tapman's Towing.
At the Home Depot, free carpet installation means free carpet installation. And free includes clearing out furniture, ripping out old carpet, hauling it away, even carpeting stairs, with no hidden fees. Free installation on carpet $699 or more means free installation. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid on carpet priced $1 or more per square foot. Specialty items may be priced separately.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana. You're